Uh, welcome. This is your boy Coach John in the building. It is his 10 times now. I am officially on colored folks time. Welcome. Come on in. I'm waiting to get with AJ. He's already online, I'm sure. I'm on colored folks time today, and so I'm a few minutes behind schedule, but it's all good. Things happen, right? We make the best out of our situations, and that's just what it is. But um, let me go ahead and send him a message. Oh, he's not on live, so he'll be on in a second. It's all good. He'll be on in a second. Let me just let him know I'm here. He should know I'm here now. Let's see. But yeah, it's a beautiful day, man. I hope y'all doing good. Yeah, everything is good. Listen, everything is always good. At the end of the day, that's how we have to see things. Everything is always good. And until we start seeing things that way, we're going to continue to complain about things not being good. Everything is always good because everything, if you're still alive, you still have a challenge that you can get over. You still have a way of getting over some of the things that are challenging in your way. So every day is good. Every day is good. Uh, yeah, I gotta look back at some of these. I got some stuff I have to answer. So message. If you send me messages, I didn't have a chance to get to them. I've been running. I've been busy. Doing some things, and so forgive me. Let me go ahead and send this out to some folks to let them know we in the building. And it's been a good day. It's been a good day. I'm not even going to complain. But, I could find some things to complain about, but today is not that day. Today is not going to be the day of complaints. I'm refusing to do that right now, at least in this moment anyway. I am going to complain about something I'm going to tell you about in a minute while I'm waiting on AJ. I'm definitely going to tell y'all something in a minute that kind of really got me. How you say, get your panties in a bunch? I got my panties in a bunch about something. I'm going to go ahead and explain that in a minute. But life is what it is, man. We still keep going. We still keep pushing. And we make it through. We make it through. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay. Welcome to the spot. It's 10 times now. I am Coach Josh Smalls. I will be on in a moment with AJ. Yes, sir. I hear a baby in the background. Yes, you hear my baby in the background. Yes, you do. You hear my baby girl in the background. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, whichever one you choose to be on, we are on YouTube, which on YouTube, you will be able to hear us and comment with us a little better and more closely, more interaction that way if you can. AJ, what's up, my brother?
What's up, man? I'm trying to see if my because I need to do Instagram on this, and I'm trying to see if my laptop. Tell you, my laptop crashed the other day, man. That's why I missed the slam.
Oh man! Oh, you missed the slam.
Yeah, Mr. Slam, my laptop crashed, and I sent him messages like, man, I'm and my phone, I go, we've been on a Zoom on this tablet, and it would not log into Zoom because it just sent a link. It kept saying, log in, like wanted me to log into my account.
Oh wow!
And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I sent them messages and told them, but they said, well, the slam is over. I said, okay, cool, ain't no problem.
Well, you didn't miss the slam. The slam missed you. That's what that is. We gonna go ahead and we gonna call it that. The slam missed you, man. How's your day, man? How you been today?
Oh man, let me tell you, today I actually got up early, went to the store, cooked breakfast, cooked a huge breakfast, made omelets and shit. And then I was sitting in the room and I'm like, man, let me sit down and adjust my attitude.
Okay. Okay.
So I just laid down for a second. I said, let me take a moment out. Take this moment out, just stop for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually I can memorize a poem in no time. But I've been working on so much stuff and stress been going on, and you don't feel stressed when you're stressed.
Right.
So I say, let me stop for a minute because I don't know if I'm stressed. Well, because usually I can remember half the poem after I write it.
Wow, that's impressive because I can't say the same.
Because I know at one time a friend of mine was joking. We used to do like battered women's shelters and halfway houses for girls and women in Dallas. And he'd say, man, AJ said he got 500 poems memorized. Let's see. Because I always tell him if I can remember the title, I can remember the poem.
Remember the poem.
So he started calling out titles, and I just be doing poems. But I've been writing so much since I don't. You really have to keep your guard up on your memory, because a lot of times if you don't go over some things, you remember part of it, but you won't remember the whole thing, because it's like track. You got to go and run reverse 400s to be good in 200.
Right.
You know, you got to run a 200 backwards, 8 times a day, 3/4 speed, so you can be fast in 100.
Right.
So no race you run, you don't run that race in practice. You run further than that.
Right.
But that was the whole thing. Is I had to think about it, because I said I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm writing a lot. I sent Wits part of my poem, How Black Men Walk.
Yeah.
I got 4 versions, man. I got 4 versions of How Black Men Walk.
Wow.
I sent him the version I wrote this morning.
Wow. It's not many people who write every day like you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad to hear that somebody's doing it, and I need to. Because I'm not.
That's cheating, man. That's cheating. Okay, give me a second. Let me switch devices and make sure it works. I'm gonna switch devices. Okay.
If you're on IG, I just put in here. Come on YouTube if you can. Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube. Me and AJ Houston or AJ Word Artist, whichever you know him as. Come on YouTube. Mr. Sleep for me in the building. Every Thursday we do 10 times now, where we discuss all topics, anything that you want to talk about, all the topics that you want to talk about. And so it's a little easier to discuss the topics when you're on YouTube rather than on IG, because the communication happens a little better. So I invite you to come on YouTube and join with us here. If you're on YouTube now, thank you for tuning in. If you're on Facebook, for whatever reason on Facebook, sometimes I can get all the messages, sometimes I can't. So I will try my best to answer your questions on Facebook. If I don't answer you, or if I'm not responding to you on Facebook, it's just that they're not showing up. I can't see your comments. So if you're on Facebook, my Josh Smalls, you have to go. So here's what happens. You can't just comment on the video. You have to be in the video. So if you're on Facebook, you have to actually open up the video. If you just comment on it, I won't see those comments. That's what's happening. So if you're on Facebook and you see this live on there, go ahead and open it up so you can hear me directly through there. And you comment that way, and I can actually see your comments on this, and then I can go and respond. Because a lot of times, AJ, I'm finding out people are just looking at it. Like, you can pull up Facebook, and if you don't, you could see everything, but you open it up, you're not actually on it. So you're just leaving a comment on that, and I can't really comment. Daybreak, come on over. Daybreak is crazy. Daybreak was going off today, AJ. Daybreak was on. I'm telling you, she was on one today. She was going in. Where's my charger? I'm looking for my other charger. Oh, there it is. Yeah, man. I gotta working on my credit and stuff, right? So I ended up getting a secured credit card. So secured credit card, in case y'all don't know, that's the credit card you actually put your money on the credit card, and they you use your money as credit, which I think is a fucking scam anyway in itself. But I mean, technically it is. You're gonna give me credit on my money. It's a fucking scam. But you gotta have credit these days if you want to do some things. And so got this credit card that I've had since the beginning of the year that I haven't activated, right? Never activated the card. Hear what I'm saying? I never activated the card. So it's a limit that's on there for money that had to be sent to the card to make the limit. I never activated it. So if I didn't activate it, I couldn't use it, right?
Right.
I get a letter in the mail that says that my credit card, Kendra, come on YouTube. My credit card, my bill is late, and that I owe them a $27 late fee because it's late. And then the next bill is due on the 1st of April. And I'm saying, and then it tells me what my credit is available credit is after they took out what the fuck they decided they wanted to take out of this shit on the card that I hadn't even activated yet. Not that I didn't use it. I didn't even activate it. I didn't even call them and say, look, jackass, I got my card. I didn't even do that. They didn't even know if I got the card yet. And so I call them and I'm saying, I got this bill saying that my bill is late. And then there's another fee on it, which still doesn't add up to the money that you're telling me I owe. So we got some discussion to do here. What the hell is going on? So anyway, they ended up waiving it. Told them, oh yeah, we do understand that the mail and this and that is backed up. I see, I know I mail stuff all day too, but let's get back to the point. I'm asking you, how in the hell do I owe money on money that you didn't even know I got the card yet?
Yeah, I sent you money. I ain't used none, but I owe you money for sending you money.
For sending you money. And you tell me this ain't a goddamn scam. I mean, it's a legit credit card and everything, but it's a scam. Whole damn scam. Yeah. I said we got that squared away. And I in all honesty, at this point now, I'm ready to say the hell with you and your damn card. I'll go to somebody else. Because I already see how you gonna do me.
Yeah, y'all already messed up.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? This is Thursday. 10 times now with Coach Josh Smiles. We started a little late. I have Coach Josh Smiles on this other line. If you want to see this video, it's on his YouTube, Coach Josh Smiles. Or we can talk here. You can type in a question, type in whatever you. My boyfriend's Aunt Shelly died earlier this afternoon. Oh, Marianne, my condolences. As Marianne said, her boyfriend's aunt died this afternoon.
Sorry, Marianne.
Yeah, Marianne, my condolences for your loss. Yeah. Sorry, thank you. But we're definitely keeping our prayers. I don't know what else to say because there's a whole lot of loss of life going on now, and it's it's bad because there's nothing we can do in these times.
Yeah,
we can't even get together with people.
I realize I'd rather be late than to not show up. I would rather be late than to not show up.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because here it is, you might not get a chance to show up again next time.
But that's what the follow through is, because I talk to a lot of people about the follow through. Because to me, it's like if you plan on doing something, a lot of times your plans can be delayed.
Yeah.
But that don't mean your plans are canceled.
That don't mean they cancel.
A lot of times I see people that say, I do this show but I'm not gonna do it today. And I'm saying, but are you gonna do it tomorrow? You say, okay, I didn't do the show last night, so I'm gonna do it today. And I've had conversations with people, and I say, I'm proud of you for letting people know, look, I was supposed to do this last night. Mm-hmm. Whatever happened, I didn't. I'm here to do it now. So as long as you have some follow through in you, as long as you keep your word to you, then it's okay.
Yeah.
What's up, K Michelle?
I've learned to, and I'm still learning it because it's still a process, but I've learned to accept what I can't change. Because what else you gonna do with it, man? And it doesn't mean you gotta like it or make it part of your ritual, but it's something that you cannot change. And so accept it for what it is.
But that's what I told you today. You asked me what I did. I said my day was excellent. But I got up and went to the store, made a big giant breakfast.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting down and I started thinking about, all the things I'm working on, all the things I do, because I actually write every day. I really do. And there's a lot I write every day, but I'm working on other things every day too. Mm-hmm. So I was like, am I stressing? Am I spreading myself too thin? So today I just wanted to stop for a minute and rethink my process.
Yeah.
Rethink my day, say, okay, how can I better my process? How can I retain more of the information that I'm reading and putting out and writing? How can I retain more of this? So let me stop for a moment and regain my senses and say, okay, this is what you used to do. This is how you used to do it. This is how you're doing it now. What's the difference?
And figure out what's going on. My son called me. My son was in Vegas. He left out of Vegas today. I said, you in Vegas, you could have went and hugged my brother around his neck or give him an elbow bump or something. For my man is in Vegas. Why you ain't tell me you're in Vegas all this damn time? Mm-hmm. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna let you know. He probably on his live. Yeah, I'm talking about you because you should have told me you was in Vegas.
Because I would have went to sin.
I would have had to at least let y'all be in the same area at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Now I would have went to sin for sure, man. I would have went to sin.
Yeah.
No, man, but my girl sent a question. What was the question? Because I asked her, did she have a question, something she wanted to talk about, right? So she said, this is it. Because she was looking at, the Megan story and the Prince, the interview. I didn't see the interview, but I've heard results of the interview. But her question was, she say, what about the desensitized way Piers Morgan spoke about Meghan Markle's thoughts of suicide? Are we living in a desensitized world when it comes to mental health? What are some ways we can become more empathetic to those who suffer with mental illness? Do we think mental illness awareness is better now than in the past?
Very good question. Very good question. It is my belief that we are more in tune overall, right, with mental health and the importance of mental health and having stability in your life, especially on that board of that scale of mental health. We're more listening more to it at this point now. My problem, I think, for me is that people assume mental health is an easy fix. And a lot of people still take it very lightly. They don't understand how close. So first of all, people don't even understand what the balance of mental health is and what that is. And so depression in itself is a form of some form of mental health. In fact, I've said, and I repeat now, if you are Black living in America, there's some form of PTSD that you are suffering from that you hadn't even realized. Now, this might go across the board for all humanity, but I'm talking to Black folks because we're the ones that say this shit don't exist. And so if you are suffering from PTSD, could be as simple as falling down a flight of stairs. If you ask in a room full of people, how many of you ever fell down a flight of stairs and your heartbeat is going like this here? Everybody gonna raise their hand. How many of you lost a loved one close to you? Raise your hand. How many always been in a car accident or been in a car accident? Raise your hand. All of these can result, or the end result of it can be a form of PTSD, which is a form of having some mental instability. It's part of your mental health. And so we don't see how common it is. We assume something major and devastating has to happen. And it's more common than we think. I do think we are paying more attention to it than we used to. But I do believe we need to look further into it. We need to really step up the fight, with helping people who are challenged with it.
Well, I think we believe if we just say, hey, call this number, do this or do that, that's we've done our job and we participated, but that's not it. Because I know I have a friend of mine, the poem I just wrote is about a young man that I was working with that committed suicide. And it was traumatic for me because for 3 years I talked him down. He talked about it all the time.
Wow.
And I would talk him down and we write together and we laugh and talk, but then it became a constant conversation we would have. And I always thought that, because he did have a mental illness, but it wasn't that way. I know how depression was, and I knew if I talked to him, we could work it out. But he sent this message out on Facebook saying, "Look, I'm tired. I'm not gonna do it no more. I'm just tired." We said that. I'm like, man. So me and some other friends, we were trying to call him, trying to message him. Had some people that was close to him go by his house, knocking on the door, and somebody said, he locked himself in the bathroom, and we trying to call, and that was it, because he actually committed suicide. And I always wanted to write something about it, but I didn't know what I wanted to say, because I was trying to figure out how we as poets say poetry saved our lives. We don't have words to save somebody else's life. So, and I always thought that I could do that because, man, I had a situation where a person I was with, she said she was tired. She was, talking about doing the same thing. And I drove around for probably 9 hours looking for her in the car, just, hoping I find her alive. And it was just the most frightening moment to me, because I don't know if how it feels, or if you feel like I've let somebody down, because I feel like if you're with me, I should be the reason you want to live. Right. I'm trying to do everything for you, be whatever you need me to be. So I'm a reason that you want to wake up in the morning. I'm the reason that you want to come home. That's what I want me to be.
Yes.
And if you're not that, I don't know you have to feel like a failure. You have to feel like there's some part of you that let somebody else down. And that's what I felt about him. So I was trying to write this poem. So that's where the line came, what kind of Jesus are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, AJ, I didn't even look at it. I didn't know that you had to deal with something like that. But that's a hell of a position to be in.
Yeah, because we all say, like Jesus walked on water and saved lives and pulled demons out of people and blessed us with these words that we write down, and we these poets, and we go around and we say, hey, let me tell you how to write this, let me tell you how to do this. But how can we not be what we say? Or how does it affect us when we can't do what we think we can? And I think that's what this conversation is about, because Meghan Markle, she said that she was telling the people in the Crown that she was depressed. She had these thoughts, these suicidal thoughts, and she wanted to go get help. And they said it'd be a bad look.
I think, again, it still goes back to what I think people just don't. They assume that they understand something that you can't possibly understand. Okay, I've been to therapy before. I'm gonna talk about me for a minute, right? The therapist did not tell me she understood what I was going through. She never said, "Oh, I understand how that feels. I understand what that is." Never once. I've seen 4 therapists in my time. Never once did they say, "I understand that. I know this about that." And I think that's the problem. We have people who are licensed within this professional field that don't say it, and people without a license know every damn thing. They know everything.
And that is, she brought up Piers Morgan. So to me, the problem is you have these people on these different news stations and on these other places where they're not giving news, they're giving their opinions. And when they give their opinions, they make it so blatantly, I guess it's an attack on a person and not on the disease.
Right.
And a lot of times when you attack the person, a lot of people can't handle that, because if you're going through something, it's like you don't need other things attacking you or other areas. Because I think even in the interview, somebody said that, I think Prince Harry said that somebody in the royal family asked him, what shade of skin do they think the baby would have? So I was trying to figure out, okay, do they have like a 10th scale on how dark a person can be not to be a prince? Are you relegated to some, what do they call it when you're down the something of Asgard, or some other, one of those way down the lines? Did they just put you down the line because of your skin color? They said we've all been through it, which is not supportive at all. I agree. That's what I'm back again. So they say we've all been through these trials, but that don't help. I agree, it don't help. It's not even an area or pointing a finger toward a solution.
Let's call it what it is. It's just like this opioid thing. It wasn't a thing until non-Black people started being really effective with it. Let's just call it what it is. And I get tired of people saying, you always got the angry Black man syndrome. I just tell them straight up, I would be angry if I had shit to be angry about. So if I'm angry, I'm angry. See, I don't get angry about some foolishness. I get angry about some real stuff. And think about it. Let's go back. The crack epidemic affected us more than anybody else. They ain't saying shit about it.
I tell them, I'm not angry for me.
Yeah. Right.
I'm angry for all the people that you did wrong. They sent me their anger so I could tell you how bad it was.
They didn't have the words, so I had to listen to an echo tell me how to put it in perspective for you to hear it. But but we are now beginning to understand that there's some underlying shit that we need to address. We need to stop don't say that around him, because he kind of off. No, he ain't off. He got some challenges that he needs some help with. And telling people they off and shit like that. Listen, shit happens to make somebody be not normal, as you would say, right? And so I had to take this ride alone, especially if you're not gonna be listening to me. What I would think about. I had to tell my daughter, said, listen, You know, I did not know what PTSD was. I thought that was something that the military, you get the Agent Orange and you come back with PTSD. That's what I told her because that's what I thought. And then my daughter was born in 01, but I was gunned down 19 years before that. And so I'm saying, well, I was gunned down when I was 19. It wasn't 19, it was 20 years. But I'm saying I had to talk to her about something that I'm now coming to grips with. Because she want to know why. But Dad, why you be sad like that? Why I see you look like that sometimes, and then you act like nothing is wrong, but I could tell something is wrong. I had to go figure out what was going on with me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it's not a similar instance, but you know, I had a great job. I'm saying my job sent me to Cali. I worked in the high desert on the B-2 stealth bomber. I worked on the B-1 bomber. I worked on the G-5 in Florida. They sent me all these places doing work that other people couldn't do because I was going fixing other people's problems.
Mm-hmm.
I injured my back. I had 5 back surgeries. Jeez. So I'm steady trying to get back to work. And every time the first doctor, I think he left something in there because after a year after surgery, I'm going through therapy. My back was hurting so bad, man. And I had no earthly idea. And I told him, I said, look, man, I say something's wrong. He said, okay, but, you know, you should be better now. You know, he looked at the x-ray, so he did an MRI. He said, okay, come back Thursday, we're going to operate.
Wow.
And I didn't think at the time about getting a second opinion. So, because to me, that meant that he saw something that was wrong or something that didn't take or something that he left in, or, you know, it was something bad. But after all those surgeries, I had therapists I was going to see, and the therapist would say, you know, well, how you know, why are you happy? You know, how come you not? They wanted my attitude to be different than it is. And I told them, I say, I built this me from scratch.
Come on.
Any outside effect, any outside thing don't affect this inside me. So if I can handle this inside me, regardless of what's going on outside, I can deal with that. It might be problematic. It might be some things I got to adjust. Mm-hmm. But this inside me gonna be good.
Will be good.
And I'm saying it took another. The third therapist was like, okay, so start giving me all these tests, and they was laughing. I'm saying, she say, I've never seen anybody do well on these tests like this. I'm like, the test has no effect on how I feel. See, you give me these things that somebody told you in a school that this is how you rate a person's, you know, I guess aptitude or intellect or whatever it is, and you rate the intellect based on, you know, their emotional levels. And I'm like, there's nothing emotional in this test. This test is basically intellect.
Yeah.
So if I have my complete faculties, there's no way you can tell me what's wrong with me by giving me a test on a piece of paper.
Right. Because that's gonna fail automatically. Good day, Australia's drunk housewife. That is a wonderful name.
I'm back again. Say Pierce, you know, he didn't like her because she left him and he was just jealous. It's crazy. Pierce has never let that drop because I think Pierce asked Megan out before, right? Pierce Morgan, the host, asked Megan out and they went out and she never called him again. So now he's been mad. So he was saying a whole lot of stuff about her and he got mad and walked off the set because somebody brought that up. So I don't know if he still got his job or not, but I know it looked bad to storm off the set like a little.
My problem is
storm off the set. I'm just gonna leave it as storm off the set.
My problem is all these people that's still dying and all this shit going on, and that's what they put on the news.
But they had to, because the reason that was, see, Oprah did the interview. The news was another channel because they didn't want to talk about the passing of the bill. And see, that's what I want to talk. I want to talk about the passing of the COVID relief plan, because there was this Mississippi congressman. He was tweeting about how great this plan was and how it was going to save a lot of the small businesses in Mississippi and how, you know, how honored he was. And then they said, well, you didn't vote for the plan. He said, well, I didn't want to vote for the plan just because it had a couple of good things in it.
See, that's nigga business right there. That's nigga business right there. See, I was late. I was color folks today. I was color folks because I was late. I
want you to hear that.
That's nigga business right there. That's what that is. If you never know what nigga business is, that's what that is right there.
Yeah, because
that's like saying I'm registered to vote, but I don't think I'm gonna make it down to the polls on time. That's nigga business right there. Well, I tell you, our people.
No, but it's amazing to me how everybody knew that something had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you Google what England was doing or what Switzerland was doing, I think Switzerland was paying $2,000 a month to the people because during the pandemic.
Right.
Somebody was paying other amounts to the people during the pandemic to help them through, so they wouldn't be in this position we're in America. But see, in America, while the Dow Jones and everything was going up, and while the trillionaires or the billionaires was making all this money, everybody else was making money, but they didn't want to give anybody else any money. Like they don't want to work, so we don't want to give them unemployment. We don't want to raise unemployment so they can pay their bills. So, and it's a shame that now we have an administration that's trying to do something right, but the Republicans are in the House. No Republican in the House or Senate voted for this bill. But I don't know, in the Senate, I got to double check because the vote went 49-50. Democrats won at 49-50. So that means that one Republican was a no vote or didn't vote or didn't show up. I want to know who that was.
Who that was.
And why 49-50? And I ain't heard nobody say nothing about it.
Why you couldn't, I'm not surprised with nothing that happens here in America. I ain't surprised at shit. I believe anything is possible with these people. But what I don't understand is why black people want to talk about all our shit that we have wrong that we don't have in common. But the one thing we do have in common that we could always say we have in common right now is we do have the ability to vote.
Yeah,
we got that shit in common, and we can't get 10 of us on the same block to go vote.
Man, I'm wondering, because there's 43 states. They're trying to pass 250 laws to make it harder to vote.
Yeah, they trying hard too, man. They trying.
43 states trying to pass 250 laws to make it harder for us to vote. But my thing is, harder to vote don't mean that they said you can't vote. So if they say they closing the polls on Sunday, we're gonna plan Saturday.
Yeah,
we're gonna go Monday. So I'm saying there's a way to still be about this business. Just because they're trying to make it hard, they've always tried to make things hard. Hard don't mean they stop you. They're not killing people like they did before if you vote. Right. They're not banning you from going to the polls. They might have some people with some long guns at the polls, but they ain't got no crosses burning.
They ain't got no crosses burning. You still got a chance. You can
they left their hoods in the trunk. Their hoods in the trunk,
No, their hoods in the trunk because they got a badge on instead. That's why.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what movie I was watching the other day. We was watching a movie, and these people was riding over the hill, and when they got on top of the hill, they put their hoods on, and the eyes weren't proper. It was like everybody was to I can't see. So they was like, they say, okay, who made these? They say, as long as the hearts can see, it don't matter. So they was riding in the circle they was doing. So they finally took the hoods off. They say, next time we're gonna check the hoods before we leave the house.
And you know what, AJ, as a matter of fact, that's one of my favorite parts on Django. When he said, oh, hold on.
That might have been what it was, yeah.
And my man was in the video saying, "That's my wife sat up all night trying to make these damn hoods for you ungrateful sons of bitches." But it show you how ignorant those people are and always have been, man. Them ones that be chewing on tires and shit.
But it was Quentin Tarantino. He always writes something odd, something strange, in a different way.
He's a weird thinking guy, man. He's a weird thinking guy. I think he's like a freaking a mad scientist. He's like really, his brain is just like.
No, but check this out. I'm back again out of UK. She say I could I could only get furloughed when I was working. But when I lost my job, I couldn't get a single penny to help for over 5 months. But she said, now I'm working again now. She said the system was built broke. It wasn't broken over time. They would never fix it. They don't want to. It works for them.
Yeah.
And that's not just see, you got to understand the UK is the basis of the system that we have. You know, and I try to tell people, I say, these weren't the good people.
I don't see how they don't get that part. But AJ, listen, even in that, bro, we gotta listen, because we can vote, we can get rid of all that shit.
I know, but I'm saying, but these weren't the good people that they sent over here in the beginning. They went to good people in the beginning. So, and I'm saying, they say our forefathers. I'm like, and that's like the people getting their DNA swab. You know, you get your DNA swab, and they say, okay, you got 12% Irish, you got 13% French, you got 3% Russian, and then they say, well, I want to find all my relatives. I'm like, those are rapists. Those aren't relatives.
Yeah.
If you black and you got all these different things in you, those are not relatives. Those are rapists. It starts with an R.
Yeah. A hard R too.
Yeah. R. You know, I wrote on my page the other day, it says I've noticed during COVID that a lot of relation boats, a lot of people are drowning in lakes and ponds because their relation boats can't ship.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you know they ain't gonna get that, don't you? I'm like, I don't care.
Somebody's still trying to catch y'all. I already got it. I got it when it rolled out.
I told her I don't care. I said some relation boats can't ship. Hey.
Yeah. Wow. You know, we come from the wisest people ever. We are some of the dumbest acting people ever. I made a post the other day. I said that something to the effect of where the music that they're playing now, that they're allowing, that they're supporting, is allowing people who can't read and write properly to come into your homes and dictate how you should act and talk. Well, that's basically what I was saying. Mm-hmm. And people were saying, oh, well, you shouldn't knock people for the way that they make a living. I said, well, there's a drug dealer that used to live on my block too. Should I not knock him? Oh, no, that's different. No. You are still destroying the family. Well, then they want to, here they go now. Then they want to get into, well, the good book. I said, well, hold on. Because you're not going to tell me that you believe in a just God that is going to punish me for stealing a piece of candy the same way he's going to punish that man for raping and killing. So don't come at me with your damn scripture, sin and sin. But we letting these drug addict, ignorant, can't read people dictate the music industry with shit that I don't understand none of it, and I'm not trying to. That shit is like, look, if you're gonna give me the hoodoo and the voodoo, just give me that straight up. Don't give me this shit I can't understand.
You know, I think to me, the problem my partner, in his book, he got a poem called Mumble Rap, right? It is dope. The poem is because see, when we created Forward Slam Team in 2000, right? See, there's a group, the Zawadi Writers. There was like 23 poets, 23 writers that wrote, and we were invited to a Alpha event that they were having a Valentine's Day event. So they had the Zawadi Writers come, 23 people come do an hour worth of poetry, and they had me to come do an hour worth of poetry. And I'm just sitting there, I wasn't reading nothing. Back in, so stop yawning, I'm making her tired. But now I was sitting there, I wasn't reading anything, but they came and said, man, you got an hour worth of poetry? I said, I got to figure out what I'm going to read just to make an hour worth of poetry.
Yeah. Shit, that's easy.
Yeah, I know. And this was back then. So we were talking and we started hanging out. So we started some open mics. And we was doing open mics, and we go to Dallas Slams all the time. Mm-hmm. And Dallas Slams, we said, man, this is nice. So we saw what it was, so we created Forward Slams. It was 5 of us, so we did that, and what it was is we never wrote slam poetry because we were poets before slam. We just read the poetry that we wrote in slams.
Slam.
But a lot of people that discovered slam and became a poet were writing slam poetry, which was a different sound of poetry. So I said all this to say that my boy Steven, he has a doctorate degree in political science.
Okay.
And he he sent me his book Mumble Rap. Okay, let me see where this is.
I'm gonna have to turn my mic off.
No, listen to it. No, but I gotta read this because this comes. It says, I don't listen to what art critics say. I don't know anybody who needs a critic to find out what art is. Jean-Michel Basquiat. In fact, there are no black holes, only black stars waiting to be discovered. In 1915, Casimir Malevich painted a black square. The now iconic painting is flowered a masterpiece of modern abstract art. At first glance, the painting appears unsophisticated, black paint on a square canvas, but there are many shades of black. Malevich used all shades available to him in 1915, World War I black, typhoid fever black, first year of Germans used poison gas black, Mississippi lynching black, American genocide black, Palestine plague of locust black, black trapped in a square canvas, black trapped in a box, black trapped on a block, and sold to the highest bidder. Nearly a century later, future Chief Keef and Gucci Mane introduced a new black square and is commonly known as mumble, a genre scorned by music experts who labeled it nonsense. 100 years ago, the same was said of jazz. Definition: mumble, a subgenre of rap, using incomprehensible lyrics over musical composition. Definition: scatting, a style of vocal improv using nonsense syllables to recreate the sound of instruments prominent in jazz, with both forms rocking the same garments. Jazz is storied, mumble is shrugged off. Shipwreck, others fire rebuke at rappers who conjure, light bulb, invoke their own words when performing. Shakespeare invented over 1,700 words. Bedazzled, cold-blooded, disheartened, eventful, belonging, fashionable, swagger are just a few, I guess, that make Shakespeare the young thug of his day. Invention is often laughing stock, but time redeems genius. In the beginning, they hated rock, funk, hip-hop, rhythm, but mostly us. Their jealousy always aimed at grave digging our songs. Remember, NWA and Tupac were public enemies now. The lyrics are studied and lectured at universities, so it's irrelevant what some call ugly and illegitimate. Hold up. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. And art has always been about breaking the rules. Picasso, Whitman, Kelly Lucas, Afro Speak, Banksy, it's all beautiful nonsense. So when I hear Offset mumble over a trap beat, I see Andy Warhol turning cans of Campbell's soup into pop art masterpiece. Hendrix burning, then smashing his guitar. The astronomers who pointed out stars and finger-painted constellations. So I say yes. Lil Uzi, Vert Channels, Ella Fitzgerald, yes. Migos is as masterful as the Beatles. And maybe when mumble is embraced by the mainstream, middle-aged white men will appropriate a new genre called smooth mumble, and the world will label it genius. Music has always been the Morse code of the forgotten, a message the serpents could not decipher. And it makes me wonder, is mumble the underground railroad of rap, a secret love letter to jazz, a gorgeous new language of masters who muffled their beauty and slurred their speech so vultures could not steal our tongues? And there are no words for that.
That's a really nice poem.
I tell you the boy's dope, man. But everybody on the Forward Slam team, we wrote and everybody had their own style. But everything we wrote was based in the consciousness of us. And you heard all the black art and all the things about us in the piece. So that's what
that's a dope ass poem. But I still you ain't putting mumble rap next to scat and think I'm just gonna let you do that shit. Fuck that. I don't care how masterful that. I love that poem, but it's no way in the hell.
What is it? Just because I like the poem don't mean that I like what it's talking about. No, but I'm saying, he told me he's gonna write a poem about mumble rap because we had a conversation about mumble rap. I told him, I said, man, I don't listen to it. I don't like it. He said, well, I'm gonna write this poem just like you wrote that numbered poem.
Yeah.
So when he wrote this poem and sent it, he called me about 3 o'clock in the morning and said, man, you here, listen to this. I'm like, okay. But all my partners, man, that I have, when they write a poem that they like, they call me, whatever time it is. They say, look, man, I need you to listen to, tell me what you think.
AJ, man, that's a bad motherfucking poem, bro. That poem is bad. That poem is bad. But goddamn it, I'm not letting you do that.
I'm back in, so I have to stay to hear that.
That poem is very well written too. That's put together. That's a put together poem. Yeah,
but you can see the studied history throughout the lines of the poem on how it's laid out and how he compared, found all the other musics and what it was called at that time and how it's accepted now, even Tupac, and how the lyrics are studied and they would call, in the beginning they say, oh man, this is not good. This is never gonna catch on.
Well, but we know why they were saying that then.
Mm-hmm.
Because they understood that if they get we get the right message in that, we change the world. They ain't worrying about that shit now because you ain't getting the message in this shit they talking about.
So what if later they come with interpretation of mumble?
We won't be around to see that shit because you don't know what the fuck they talk about. We won't be around to see that. Now listen, we all got relatives that said, I'll never be around to see a black president. We'll have one one day, but I won't be around to see it. And they were surprised. I'm going to be surprised if you can show me how this trap rap shit means some good sense. Now, I'm not talking about make it like scripture and you tell me what you think it believes.
Yeah.
Think it's saying. I'm not talking about that. I mean, break it down and tell me, oh, this is what that really means? No. You explain to me how art is calling somebody a bitch and I'm sleeping with you and your sister and your aunt can come over after y'all leave and then I'm going to turn around and your daddy can get it. No. You ain't giving me that.
I'm saying because I've always argued that I think when we teach somebody what we know, it has to be worth them knowing it. It has to be worth the time that we spent. Because I always tell people, I say, well, if you're reading, what you're learning. If you're learning, who you're teaching. Because you cannot. And I see all these people talking about, yeah, I'm reading these books and that's cool. But who are you teaching? And what are you teaching? And what books are you reading?
Right.
So there's some questions in your questions you need to answer for yourself. No, but when he read that to me, I said, we were just on that conversation, I'm like, yeah, because that poem was fly, man.
Tony got a question. How do y'all do those metaphors?
Okay, the way my metaphors work is I see, let's say if I see a tree and I see a tree and I see a car and I see a truck, I'm like, how did those things sync up in my mind when I saw it? So can I make the tree into a car, into a truck? Or can I make the tree into gas to run the car and the truck? Or can I make the car and the truck into limbs on a tree? So there's some way I'm going to bind these together. So a lot of times it's just the binding together of the things around you that don't go together. Because if I write them together, they now belong.
Yeah.
This line I wrote for that poem, How Black Men Walk, line I wrote yesterday in the one I got on my folder because I I tell you, I got 4 different versions. When I got on my photo, it says the halo we wear is still connected to the rope around our necks.
Wow. Daybreak, I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. I'm gonna leave that right there.
Rap
So,
is rhythm and poetry, yeah.
A lot of times, Tony, the metaphors come after the editing process.
Yeah.
So what I try to tell a lot of people do is write everything you can think about when you first write the poem initially. Write it all out. And when you go through your editing, you will see how, okay, this thought could actually be a blue light instead of a thought. You know, you can change it because you see it now that it's out. So write out the entire thought. And then in your editing, a lot of times you'll find those metaphors too. Now, Daybreak, let me come over to you. Rap and what it started from. Okay, we got to go a little step further because it was hip hop and it was MCing. It wasn't rap. Okay. So as an MC, you got on the mic, you didn't write nothing. You just heard the beat and you just went freestyle and whatever came out, came out. And then rappers came when people started saying, okay, well, this is a way that you do this kind of rhyme scheming or this poetic rhyme scheming, if you would. Then they kind of categorize them in the rap because they can write what they couldn't freestyle. And so then you got rap and rappers, all of that, because it wasn't just rap, it was hip hop and then rap came on. So now there's hip hop and rap when you get awards. So it's still kind of different. You have rappers in hip hop, but hip hop is the genre. And so they made this new rap thing that I'm not 100% or disappointed with, but I'm definitely not satisfied with. And so now you have sounds on beats that all sound the same. And so it was a time where you could actually go into a record label and you had about 25 seconds, if that, to impress them. You got to get out.
I'm gonna create music.
You can't sound like the dude who just left. You can't sound like what I had on the radio. They've allowed rap to be cornered off and say, this is what rap is. And here's what if you can do this exact pattern right here, you can make it. And so it's more now of it's like a massage. You keep rubbing the same spot. So what, to get a little sore, it's still gonna help you. They just come back next week, we'll do it all over. That's what this new shit is now. And so it's a good feel. You get shit from it. Hip hop and even rap, when it started initially, in the beginning, there was a statement behind it.
There was a story. There was a story. They were saying they was telling you about something and something around them. They were telling you about a moment. Yeah. You know, like today is a good day, Ice Cube. They was telling you something. Like why it was a good day, you know, ain't nobody got killed today. So today is a good day.
I guess I didn't know the ledge, you know, paid in full, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. What they stuff sound like now? They got Molly Percocet. That's a fucking rap song. Mask off or mask on, whatever one it was, just confusing as hell. And so
I heard a Weezy song yesterday. I heard Weezy on the song yesterday. I'm like, what is he talking about?
I will say this. I went into, you know, Desan Ahano. Desan did a workshop and broke down Lil Wayne's, one of his songs. He writes, or whoever writing his stuff, there is some talent in the writing.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I don't know how they get it because I can't stomach most of it, but it's some talent in the writing. But it's rare that you get that. You're not getting that now. You know, you're not getting that now. Now what you're getting is what they call this mumble rap. And I got an infant baby girl in there. When she start mumbling, I'm gonna start saying words, open your mouth. I don't want to hear that. I want to know what you're talking about. I expect her to mumble. If you know how to read a book, you ain't got no business mumbling.
You know, it's like we're reverting our intelligence back to when they told us we couldn't read.
Yeah, that's it.
So, and my thing about, I just want to say one other thing about metaphors is a lot of times when I'm writing, it's like how do I want to paint this picture? So it's not a metaphor.
It's not
I'm painting a picture for you.
Right.
I'm painting a picture, so you might hear these metaphors, but you listen as pictures because I want you to see what I'm saying. You know, because even the line I just read, where's the other line? It says other photos in there.
She put Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. None of these people can't say nothing to Jimmy. They better not even say his name.
Yeah, no, because there's a line in that poem I wrote. It says, you know, it's almost like we use our checked off box of things to do today like it could fit a body.
Yeah. You know another thing too, AJ, even going back to Imran's message, there was a time where it didn't matter what played on the radio. Grandma could sit there, uncles, aunts, everybody can sit there, even if it was rap. There was a time when you can do that. Now grandma's like, you ain't playing that in here.
Really?
And grandma could have been a devout religious woman, and the radio could just play.
Yeah, you know, they might have something might be inferred, but nothing is inferred these days. Everything is blatantly direct.
Embarrassingly direct. And I'm saying, you getting up here and win these awards, and I like to thank my mother, and you thanking your mother. Did you put out a song that's saying, let's get high and these is bitches and hoes and thank my mother? I thank God. I thank God and thank my mother. How? I mean, you must have the same God that the slave masters had. That one that don't see our prayers past the big house, past the big tree. That must be the same God you're talking about. Because there's no way. There's no way. So when people say, you know, you made it, you thank God, I get that. I ain't mad at you. You know, that's how you feel. But if you are worshiping a true God and you make it off of that, shit, so did the drug dealer.
Well, thank God for letting me keep my corner.
Yeah, for letting me hold my corner down a little bit longer. 5-0 ain't come get me yet. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's so much confusion, and it's kind of like saying, you know, I love women, but I beat my woman all day.
Mm-hmm.
I love women, but I'm knocking the shit out of my woman. You don't go together. You don't go together. Oh yeah, I'm all about the community, but you're selling crack to the people in the community. It don't go together. It don't go together.
Yeah, you can't sell crack all year and then give people turkeys on Thanksgiving.
That's what they did.
I got this truck full of turkeys, and I'm passing these turkeys out to help the families. But you'd have ripped the families off. The mother's strung out, walking the corners. The father ain't home no more. He out here trying to hustle some money so he can get another bag. And I never understood that because I always had that argument that I don't see how you rapping about slanging and selling drugs and all this, and the police don't come and get you out of the studio. Didn't you just turn state's evidence on yourself?
You just did. You just did. And so I think I can't say that name. Lau. I might be saying your name wrong, so forgive me. I think you said maybe we need to revert backwards to process these emotions that have been suppressed for so long. I think that going backwards could make sense for some people, but I think we need to start addressing things more directly, like things are being said directly. I think we're trying to. It's kind of like parents who like, oh, my mother whooped me, so I'm not gonna whoop my kids. Well, how the hell you think you made it? Because somebody whooping your ass so you can get right. And I'm not saying abuse your kids, but it's kind of like, you know, this shit works. So you're going to stop it because you don't, oh, well, I didn't like it. Well, I tell you what, I didn't like that damn castor oil and shit, but I took it.
Yeah. You know, and I was explaining to somebody the other day, I say the last thing scientists cured that I can remember in America or wherever was polio.
Yeah.
And what they did is they gave polio vaccines in some places, but what they did a lot of times, they gave you that little ice cube, that sugar cube with it on there in a little cup. And you had the medicine on sugar cube. So you didn't taste the medicine, you just tasted the sugar. See, that's where we are right now. We don't want the medicine. We all just want sugar cubes without the medicine, and we think we're gonna heal ourselves. You're not gonna get healed if you don't get the medicine. So at some point in time, what medicine do you want? What's gonna be the cure for our community? What's gonna help us if we don't want no medicine? We just want kids in timeout, and we just want sugar. We don't want no medicine on it. You know, we don't want no, don't talk bad to the kids just because they're bad. Don't try to correct them because they're bad. You know, just let them know that, you know, things gonna get, that sometimes the medicine got to show up. If the medicine don't show up, you're gonna have polio again. You're gonna have the little shoe with the brace on your leg.
But AJ, even bigger than that, bro. The medicine can't show up until you admit that you need medicine.
I know, but that's what we're saying. We're saying we don't. No, we discovered the problem, but we say this time we don't want the medicine we've been given to cure it. We just want to talk about the problem.
No, now we just want to feel like the medicine is in our body. We don't want you to fix nothing. I just want to feel like it. Jeez.
Everybody bow your heads and just feel like the medicine. Feel like you take the medicine right now.
I went to Sunday school one day when I was young. Now, you know, I grew up in a Muslim household, but my mother never denied us education. I love my mother so much for that. She never denied us the ability to go out and find what's going to work for us. Go out and learn what you want to learn, son, and bring it home. Let's talk about it and discuss it. The most beautiful thing my mother ever done. So I went to Sunday school and they called the altar call. Everybody come up to the altar and you're going to be saved, you know, accept the Lord as your savior in your heart and this and that. So all the kids went up there. And I mean, kids was crying and shit. So I just felt like I just started crying. They was crying. I figured I needed to cry. And so I came home and I said, Mommy, yeah, I went and man, I was up there crying and I prayed. And she said, well, what was you crying for? She said, if you accepted Jesus in your heart as your savior, what was you crying about? And she said, I'm not telling you you're wrong, son. I just want you to understand, what were you doing? Because I want to know what you was doing. Maybe you're teaching me something. I cried. I said, well, I thought that's what you're supposed to do when that happens.
Man, my dad.
Listen, AJ, nobody told me what I'm supposed to feel like afterwards. All these kids up here crying and shit. I was the only one that ain't crying. So I figured I'm going to hell. I started crying real bad.
Don't let me. You was crying because you didn't want to go to hell.
I didn't want to go to hell. I didn't tell my mother that's why I was crying. I told I cried because everybody else was crying. But they was talking about hell and, you know, this is all your sins is washed away. And as an adult, I'm like, well, I'm glad that I made that prayer then, because that sin I just finished doing, I'm covered. According to that prayer.
Man, my mother played, you know, she retired from playing the piano for the church. She was over the choir. We sung in the choir. Our family sung as a group. And we was somewhere, I don't remember what church we were at, but it was a Church of God in Christ. Because I remember because they called the people up and they was laying hands on people. He's hitting them in the forehead. And when they hit them, the people was falling down and flapping and stuff. And they had said my father needed prayer because my father was a weekend alcoholic. So he was up there tapping my father on the head, you know, put his hand behind him and tap him. And he kept tapping him. And he, you know, like waiting for my father said, you tap me one more goddamn time. He tell me one more goddamn time, and they work, and you can see him looking like, oh, this, it
ain't working.
My father, if it's gonna work, it's work. You ain't finna make it work for me. Falling down and flat. But it was. I'm saying, but I've seen my father talk to people in such a way that ruffled their skin, that made them uncomfortable. Because my mother, she taught us scriptures because she said, I want you to understand that you need to know this for yourself. So she taught us scriptures. So anybody coming at me with scriptures and stuff, I say, look, I know the scripture. I know Kemet. I know where ancient Kemet is. I know where the first university is. I know that there were dynastic periods long before, BC. Who call it BC and who call it AD?
Mm-hmm.
I said there was Ming dynasties long before that. There was, dynastic periods in Egypt long before this. So how can we parallel this idea that this is 2,000 years old when that's right there is millennia old?
Come on.
I'm saying, so at some point in time, and when you start studying for real, you're gonna find that there's over 108 religious doctrines that have a virgin birth. But the first one was in Kemet. So I don't know if they read the pyramid walls and say, okay, this the way it works.
This is how you start this. You seen the book of Eli?
Yeah. This how it works. This, but it's like we don't know. We don't know what it is that we're supposed to know because they keep telling us different shit. So until you actually study for yourself, because I'm gonna tell you, to me, the Bible verse that my mother kept hitting me with, it's in Peter. I think of what it is in a minute, but it's in Peter. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." And I love that verse because it says, "Rightly divided in the word of truth." And I don't know if anything can be divided if it's not two of them.
That's right. At least.
Yeah, if it's not two of them. What's up, second historic energy love? What's up? I'm saying, so rightly divided means that at some point in time, you got to read for yourself to understand what it is you believe, because you can't tell me what you believe and you're repeating somebody else's words. Repeating after echoes will not make you a mountain.
That's right. That's right. AJ, I'm gonna tell you what really did set it off for me. So when I went to college, I took a world religion course. One of the best things I've ever done. I've listened to all these different religions, Baha'i and ancient African religions, and I realized when you actually take your scripture, now I don't care what scripture you decide, but just take the people in there out and go study those people, and your ass is back in Africa. That's telling you something. I don't care what people you read in any scripture. It take you back to Africa. And then we got into African folklore. And when I got into African folklore, I said, now I can take all of these religious texts and put them right here. And I just want to go to Africa.
I know where they came from.
I know where they came from. If I take some soil from anywhere in the motherland and I taste it, I know it's going to tell me the truth. Now, it might have these colonizers' footprints in it a little bit, but if I dig deep enough, it's going to tell me the truth.
Because I think in one poem I wrote, it says it says it began with these crusaders and with these shields with crosses on, holding up this black book touting good news, and we knew it was some bad shit about to happen. Because it ain't never been a good thing when they show up with the black book with shields and swords. Talking about you got a shield and sword. You talking about good news?
Which is why
Christopher Columbus had all them baby hands around his neck. He cut them kids' hands off.
I look going back to I like watching movies of when they was at war. I love watching oh gosh, the movie with Saladin. Oh gosh, Kingdom of Faith.
Okay, yeah.
I love watching that movie, and I love watching that movie because it reminds me of so much who America decided to build this country like. Because everything they said, once they say God wills it, that's it. Ain't had a conversation with God to save his ass. God wills it. Ain't that what America do? Is that not what America does?
Queen Melody Music, what up, Sacred Hearts? He said God willed it and it's done.
Once they say God willed it,
they slaughtering everybody. They slaughtering everybody and taking your land.
And then to think about how, I tell black people this all the time. If you're not black in here, I'm not attacking you. I'm just stating actual facts. There's two things you're never going to see: a black caveman and a black barbarian. We don't come from that. And their lifestyles and their viciousness, their savagery We don't come from that. That is not our culture. You're never going to find those two things. And so accepting that they have been, that's their culture, has to take you outside of your natural being. So trying to bind to an American dream, you cannot do, because even though your footprints may have been on this land, like AJ said, this is not home.
No, it's still some things we got to do for this to be home. I'm just saying, you know.
We got a lot of shit to do for us to be home. First of all, we got to have a conversation with ourselves. Some of us need to be lined up and smacked a few times. And I mean, bring it back from here, smack.
Oh, like Airplane, like the movie Airplane smacked, huh?
Because we won't get it. We don't have to beat a people up for us to get what we need to have. Only people we need to beat up is ourselves. We need to get that mirror and just start just smack. I don't drink your wine if you want to drink. Drink your liquor. Do that shit because that's what you want to do. I'm not telling you to stop that. I'm just telling you to get in line and do this one thing so we can move from this position. If all black people do one thing, let's just vote one time so we can move from point A to point B. Okay, I might be asking a lot for you to do it twice, right? So do it once.
Yeah, just try in 2022. Try in 2022.
Yeah. So we can just see. Let's just get a look. You seen on the movie Ray, and his wife came down and she found his drug in the shaving kit, and he said, "Oh, that's just a little medicine. I just do it just to get a little taste. Just get a little taste of it. Just let us get a little taste. Just everybody, just vote just once. Let's go find somebody to vote for. Just get Billy from around the corner. Let's go get Mr. Sanders from down the block, and let's just put his ass over there and vote him in. Mm-hmm. Just once."
But see, I think, what is it we have to write down right now to make you remember how horrible, January 6th was, how horrible it is for Texas and Mississippi and all these people to open up these no mask mandates when the majority of people that's dying and the majority of people that's getting COVID is minorities. So isn't this like release the Kraken on our neighborhoods, or they're trying to sue Austin because Austin's mayor enacted a mask mandate. So the Attorney General of Texas want to sue Austin and say, hey, you can't do that. But I'm like, you can't tell these people to stay safe. We don't want you to die. We don't want you to get this disease.
Should that not be mandated?
But I'm saying, so what do we have to write down right now so we can bring up in 2022 and say, look, you remember this. Remember when all them people stormed the Capitol. Remember when all these people did this. Remember when all these attorney generals wanted to disavow your votes. Remember from all these people, these 43 people said that they didn't want your vote to count when they were counting when they were counting
damn, as you gave me a break.
When they had the it was January 10th. What was it? January 6th. That's why they had, when they were trying to count the votes from the Electoral College.
The Electoral vote. There you go. Damn.
The 43 people said they did not want the votes for the Electoral College. They didn't want your vote to count. So do I have to remind you in 2022 that they didn't want your votes to count at all? They, the ex-president asked Georgia to go get rid of, about 12,000 of your votes because he just needed 11,780 votes. So when you know how many votes you need specifically, he say, could you just go find me?
Yeah.
11,780 votes.
But fine.
But see, because the Secretary of State, that's the present governor of Georgia, Kemp, that's what he did to win. He just started getting rid of votes. They used to do this in Georgia all the time, but when Stacey Abrams went there and made sure all these new laws were in effect, they couldn't do that this time. So when he asked him, he said, look, just bring some other people in that want to count new votes. That's what your ex-president say. Bring some people in that want to count new votes. And then say that we just did a recount and we found 11,780 votes that you need.
Watch this here. Watch what I'm going to put up there now.
In granite stones, okay.
If we lose one, we done. Because if we lose one, that means that the vice president won't have a vote.
Yeah.
If we lose one seat, that's two. Black folks, we can't afford that kind of margin. That's a lose. That's a loss.
Now,
one seat gonna take us.
How is it all the people? That's what I'm saying. What do I have to write down right now to remind you that Cruz left y'all frozen and he went to Cancun?
Went to Cancun.
He left y'all frozen and what's up, Mandy? Cruz left y'all frozen, went to Cancun. That Mississippi's, governor said, hey, we're going to release this mass mandate because we don't care about the Black community. We don't care about all these people, all these minorities that's dying, all these people that's dying, because we good here. So I don't know what I need to write down so you would remember right now. I need you to remember right now. Remember the 43 votes that they tried to take from y'all. Remember the 17 attorney generals that wanted to take over 3 million votes of Black people from northern states. I want you to, what do I need to write down? What's your phone number? What's your phone? Let me call you and remind you every day till it's time to vote in 2022. I will call you and remind you that this is what you need to do because I need you to vote in 2022. I will call you and leave a reminder. I will record your own on your voicemail. I will make the recording on your voicemail so you remember every time you listen to it that, I need to vote in 2022. What we got to do?
As soon as the poll early vote and open up, I'm going to text you every day. Did you get it?
Yeah.
You know that new edition song, did you get it yet? Did you get it?
What we got to do? What we got to do as a reminder?
We are in a more terrible time than when Obama was in office.
Yeah, because if you remember, you only getting $1,400, but you're only getting $1,400 because 50 Democrats. See, it was 49 because one of them had to be convinced. They had to take the 400 from the 400, make it 300 on your. So you got 50 Democratic votes, no Republican votes at all. So no Republican actually wanted to help you as a small business, wanted to help you as an individual, wanted to help you with your homeowners, wanted to help you with, I'm saying your unemployment. None of the Republicans wanted to help you with any of these things. So if you don't understand in 2022 that none of them wanted to help you, so if you don't go out and vote, why should you help them? If you don't vote, you're helping them.
You're helping them. You're not voting, doing more damage than voting.
That's the only way I can say it. I don't know, man. And it angers me because, I've been saying this for forever because I used to tell people, I said, look, if you don't vote, it's okay. We friends. I ain't asked you to do shit since I known you. One day, just go down and say, AJ, that made me go down here and vote. Please. Blame it on me.
AJ's even easier now. You can say, I'll drop the ballot off to your house.
Really?
And all you got to do is put it in the mail. In fact, you don't even got to leave your house. Does the mailman come? You can give it to the mail carrier and they'll take it.
But I'm gonna tell you, we got to work on this right now because if we don't work on it right now, they're working on you not voting right now. They're working on how to disavow your vote, how to make you need a new ID card to vote. They're trying to make it to where most of the polling places around you will be closed. There will be no mail-in drop boxes around you. They're trying to outlaw. So they're trying to make it harder for you to vote right now. So if you don't think about right now that you need to plan your vote in 2022, you need to see who's up in your district, who you need to get out, because there's some people that need to be gone.
A whole lot of them.
And I'm not talking about violently gone. I'm saying your vote is the violence that you need to make them gone.
Yeah. And on so many different levels, from lower up. And like we keep telling you, you gotta vote locally, man. Like y'all so stuck on the damn president. You need these local jokers. They're the one that write the laws. And
you need your local senators need to be gone. Those are the ones trying to change your laws right now. Even in Georgia, I'm gonna tell you how it worked. In Georgia was mainly Republican senators and Republican House. Mm-hmm. So the black woman that's bringing up charges because your ex-president called the Secretary of State of Georgia and asked him to find 11,780 votes, and he threatened him and his attorney. So that's against the law.
That's against the law.
He's trying to bring a case against him, but the Republican senators in Georgia was trying to get together to change Georgia's constitution so she couldn't.
So she could not change it. Exactly.
So you got people trying to change the constitution so this black woman can't bring charges on somebody that need to be charged. So if you don't think they need to be gone, I don't know what other conversation we need to have.
I don't even have nothing else to say to you. That's the conversation I need to have. You can kick rock because you definitely can't help nothing. If you don't see something wrong with that, you can't help nothing.
Yeah, because I'm saying these are blatant attacks on not just justice, but blatant attacks on you as a voter, on you as a person, on you as an individual in this United States that's supposed to be, supposed to have some rights after these amendments were ratified, brought in, even though, a couple of them didn't want to re-ratify, but that's another conversation. Attorney General, the Supreme Court, wanted to, do a couple of things about your about your amendments that they didn't want your voting rights to be they wanted the states to be able to change some things, so that's what they're doing.
AJ, let's talk about that for a minute. You don't even have the right to vote. It's a bill that was passed to allow you to vote. Am I making a mistake here?
No, and it had to be ratified.
Yeah. Think about that. If for no other reason, just for that, you should do it.
Yeah.
Just because they don't want you to. Like, be arrogant enough to say, you know what? I'm doing this shit because y'all don't want me to.
And just because you might be able to do it just one more time.
You
might be able to do it just one more time. Because if you don't do it this time, you might not have a vote next time.
Listen, if we don't get to vote, man, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to tell you. If they take the vote away from us, every one of y'all that I know didn't vote that I personally know, we going to fight. I'm going to jail because my children have to suffer through that shit because you didn't get your ass to cast the ballot, to cast the vote. You know what I'm saying?
When you hear somebody beating on your door, it's me.
It's me, goddammit. It's too late to call the cops. You should have called them before I got here. I already told you today that I'm coming.
What's up? No, but I agree. To me, it is important. That. It's that important because, we looking at our mothers and other elderly people that spend most of their money that they get on pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Because that's not right. So we can change that by voting in the right people. We're looking at our communities that all these potholes ain't fixed. You can do that by voting for the people in your own community. You need to change your city councilman. You need to change your own Senate, your local Senate, your local Congress, and the Congress that's out there in DC. Because when you have 43 Republican senators after an insurrection still say your vote don't count, it's like after the insurrection, they say, well, I ain't gonna even bring it up. I should just let it go. But they still say your vote didn't count. They didn't want your vote to count. So that's saying that they're kind of hoping the insurrection had taken place, don't it? No, is that what that means?
That's what it sounds like. Hey, let's take it a step further, AJ. Let's take it a step further. I'm going to be 50 in a minute. So let me just talk about when I was in school. And my books had probably had my mother's signature in the book. It was so goddamn old. Raggedy ass school books in your community. If the school books was raggedy then, can you imagine the shit they have now? Okay, granted, everything's on the computer. But think about how they teach. They're not teaching your kids how to do nothing but how to take a test. Hell, I could teach my kid how to take a damn test, and I ain't even got to know the work. That's easy. And so you won't vote in your community to change that? We just talking about on
the funny thing is, now go and finish somewhere.
We talking about fixing something right in your face that you can't act like you don't see. You can't act like you don't see that shit. And you won't vote to fix that? To change it? To bring a question mark behind it?
Because the funny thing is, I remember the books I had, it's got probably 10, it had a square over here with 10 places where you can put the name of who book it is.
Right.
There was no place for me to write my name. All those names were taken.
And then they want you to put a book cover on it.
And they want you to bring it back like, why this book tore up? Where's the back? Where's the back to the book? You say, when I got the book, it didn't have no back.
They used to make you put that book cover on that book. Beginning.
Oh yeah.
I remember we couldn't take the books home. Wasn't enough to go around. We had to share them in the classroom.
Bobby Rachel, what up? No man, but I really think the most important thing we can do right now is what happened.
No, I'm here.
I'm trying to see where I am, man.
Oh, okay.
Because it's I'm trying to. Now, damn. Okay. Now, the most important thing we can do right now is make sure your family, make sure everybody around you is registered to vote.
Yeah.
Then make sure the neighbors and the people around you are registered to vote. Then go beyond the places that you go, make sure they're registered to vote, because somebody has to do it. And we don't understand. Maybe we need a Stacey Abrams handbook.
Yeah.
Maybe we need like my man said, he's gonna come and tell us about community building. Maybe we need a lesson on how to build better communities. But the first step in building a community is to have one goal. So I don't want you to, my goal is not to come out and do a whole. My goal is to get you registered to vote so you'll be ready in 2022. That's my goal.
Yeah.
What's yours? What's your goal?
Listen, AJ, I don't know what these people goal going to be or what they're going to figure. For me, my goals, damn it, right now is outside of this damn planet. My goal is to get out of this damn country. I'm trying to get away from these fools. That's my damn goal. I'm just gonna make it plain. I don't want to get away from these fools.
You sound like my baby. My baby tell me that every day.
Listen,
she tell me that every day. She told me in Italy. I think in Italy they have this contract where you can buy this dilapidated castle or something for $1. But you got to show that you can get a loan or a grant to build it up. And you have to do so. She said, "That's what I want to do." I said, "Let's go. Let's build a castle." I invite all my. We'll be over in Italy. We have Italian Renaissance.
Listen, where all these damn Africans coming from?
Really, Italian Renaissance. We be on the right and shit.
AJ,
Blue Eye Portrait, what up?
That's my damn goal. I want to get out of here. I can see y'all online. Y'all know where the hell I'm at. If I love you, I love you. But I can watch this news shit from over in another country. Be like, damn, that's fucked up.
Man, let me run and give me some water. Hey, this is 10 times now. I'm on here with Coach Josh Smalls. If you got a question, type it in, and we'll try and answer it, or we'll do the best we can, and we'll Google and find something that's relative to what you're asking us. But anyway, Coach, you and your family is always welcome to come here.
Where are you? Tell me where you at. Where are you at?
I'm Ron. Where you at?
Yeah. Where you at? Let me know where you at. And then I need to make sure you ain't no robot trying to walk me over the sex trafficking. I'm just playing. Oh man. But that is a goal of mine. And it's funny, people say stuff like you shouldn't say stuff like that out loud, and they listen. Listen, I put my phone down, everything I talk about pop up in my phone. They listen to all my conversations. Really? The Kingdom of Iran. Listen, and so wow. What's the capital over there? Wow, that's interesting. I really want to, and so y'all that don't know me, if y'all on IG, it's 10 times now. I'm talking with AJ, we're artist, AJ Houston, and we answer all your questions and talk about everything on YouTube. I pull my IG up because some people can't get on YouTube or just don't. But Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube, you can come on and join in and share some of this conversation, have some amazing conversations. Come on over. And we talk about everything from politics to moving out of the country and things like that. And so for me, those who know me, I've always wanted to, I want to travel and teach people how to use creative writing as a form of healing, right? I want to teach people how to look at artwork differently and images differently, and just to look outside your windows and don't just see cars and stuff, see things just totally differently. Like, how do you take you with me, Daybreak? How do you see, how do you change the idea of things that you see without thinking about them from another level, right? So if a bird lands on the same car that you're driving, like what is that like? What does that symbolize to you? I want to talk about, why the water is blue. I don't care what the scientific term is. Why is the water blue? And maybe the water is blue because God said no, and all the angels cried on this day, and they cried, and their tears just was so melancholy that they turned oceans into blue water. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to write like that. And so that's part of what I do in my workshops. I want people to reach outside of themselves or reach deep inside themselves and find out new things. Like, that could have been a writing prompt that I've given, right? But I do those kind of things naturally, and I want to teach that all over the world. And it doesn't matter if I have to have a translator or if I had someone who's doing sign language and showing people. I want to do that for the rest of my days. That's it. And I want to travel the world doing it. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Africa. There's a lot of places in Africa I want to visit, and I have to visit. Joan, how you doing? Z, what's up, my brother? Diamond in the building. Shy, thank y'all for tuning in. But yeah, that's what I want to do. I love when I teach a class and someone says, you know what, I never thought I can write that way, or I never thought about things that way. I never even looked at a picture that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love to do. That's the magic. And then someone saying, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and write a book now, because now I can look out my window, and looking out my window changes the way that I see the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I love to do. That's who I am. And I want to be able to do that with everybody and anybody, all ages. Teaching people how to journal, helping them write short stories. You don't have to be a poet to come into my workshops. All you have to do is want to write. Doesn't matter. We're going to create a story every time you come into my workshop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you the tools you need to take you on this journey. And a lot of times, my first time writers, I'm gonna tell you the best. I love the first time writers. Um, oh, good. I'm glad you're doing fine. I love my first time writers, and I love the writers who are just in this hard shell, that have capsulized themselves in this shell that makes them feel like they can't. I can't move from here. I can't be vulnerable. I can't say these things. I love it because I don't tell them that, oh, I'm going to get you to write and be vulnerable. I don't tell them that. I just create scenarios and ideas. I give them prompts that make them say, you know what, I like that, and I'm going to write it. And sometimes I have to lead them a little more, but I lead the entire group, so no one's like feeling like, you're picking on them. But there's no better feeling than that. And that's what I want to do for the rest of my days. I want to be able to take my family to another country. We're there for a few months, doing whatever. Boom, I go to another country. There for a few months, doing the same thing. And creating books and leaving legacy behind that says, you know what, we actually help people see the world differently. I need to do the writing workshop for senators and governors. I need to change there, because them, I'm gonna be nice, but them people they have some issues. Government is the worst thing in the world, but it's still, I understand how it has to be there. But it's one of the worst things in the world. The people in it get lost in it. It makes it really, really hard for humanity to continue. You know what I mean? To keep going. And I think that's one of the things that I hate. But I want to be that person. I want to be that man. When people say, "Oh, that's the instructor," that's the instructor. And he came and he taught me when I was 6 years old how I can write about this light bulb, and how I can write about that broken bottle in the street. And he told me to talk about not just how the bottle got there, but how the bottle was created, and how many fingers might have held that bottle before it went to getting through the sterilization part before they recycled it, and what it went through the recycling plant, and how the bottle was tumbling upside down and spinning on this belt before they put a new label on it and made the bottle go to something else. That's the kind of stuff I want people to do with me. I'm just telling how the ideas. How I want people to end up writing after leaving workshops with me, and how I want to teach across the world, everywhere. I want to be in another country every few months. Oh, I can't hear you, AJ. I can't hear you. I don't know how you went sound low. No,
I just I just Googled.
Oh, you're on mute now. Here you go.
Let me see what. Okay, what about now?
Now you should be good. No, you're off again. Okay.
I was trying to mute it so I can unmute it and then say.
You good. You good.
Okay. I think my signal.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. The signal is delayed.
I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think you still might be a little delayed, but I can hear you.
Let me close down some of these.
Uh-oh. He laughing, but I can't hear nothing, man. Go out and come back in, AJ. Yeah. So you're having a little technical difficulties. But yeah, that's what I want to do. Thank y'all for tuning, all of y'all who are tuning in and listening, man. I really, really appreciate you. If you are a writer in here, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about writing, we'll talk about that too, excuse me. We don't mind that. But we're here to answer questions and talk about whatever conversations y'all want to talk about. That's what this is all about. And the best way of communication is asking questions and moving forward. I love being a creative writing coach. I love it. I had no idea that this is what I'll be trying to do as an adult when I was young. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Being a part of a community such as this community is an amazing thing. You know, the way the entire pandemic came down and really hit hard. It really crushed some dreams. A lot of things that happened might not have happened, and some things just did not happen because of the pandemic. But we made it through the pandemic, even though it's still going on, and we're still moving forward. And I think that's important to know that. Listen, if you don't have a reason to celebrate, right? If you can't think of one reason to celebrate, here's one for you. You made it through the pandemic thus far. Now go and you got it in your phone. Google how many people did not make it through the pandemic. Don't tell me how bad your situation is. I don't want to know that. You need to stop focusing.
Over 500,000 people in America.
In America, did not make it.
I'm doing excellent. What's that?
You are.
500,000 people didn't make it, and we got people complaining about shit. Now, but I was telling that you was talking about cheating all over land. I was trying to remember that song. Like, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. But when I heard that song, I was thinking, and see, a lot of people don't know the story of Emmett Till. Emmett Till's mother's name is Mamie Till. What she did, they when they found the box, they pulled the box up, and the box was at this coroner's place downtown, and every block was smelling because it was that rank. So she went there. She said, "I want to see my boy," and they say, "Well, they say we can have a funeral, but you can't open the box." So she say, "Do you have a hammer?" So Mamie Till asked Mr. Raymer for a hammer. She said, "Cause I'm gonna show America what America did to my boy."
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking about, a hammer. So when I write poetry, I'm hoping that I could use this hammer and beat this stone and make this paper so I can write these words so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. See, it has to be a process.
Yeah. Yeah.
How hard do you want people to know your truth? How much pain are you willing to put? You got to put some blood in it if you want the poem to live.
Oh yeah, a whole lot of blood.
Blood in it.
A whole lot of blood. Jeez. There's so many poems. AJ, I'm working on this. I'm finishing my daughter's book. We know that, right? Mm-hmm. And I plan to write a book for both of my daughters together. And so I'm out of touch with one of my sons. He's stubborn like I am, but he's stubborn for different things. And my youngest son always be like, "Man, y'all stubborn just like he's just like you, but we just have different ideas and things." And so I want to write that. I want to write a book for them because when I hope that one day we will work through some things so that we can have at least some decent dialogue together. My youngest son and I, we're pretty good, but he's trapped in the middle. But there's a poem that I want to write for my grandchildren. And then I said, there's no way I'm going to write them one poem, AJ. How do you write your grandchildren a poem? Right? Every time I look at my daughters and I think about them, every time I talk to my son, and then my son told me today, he said, look, because I met his son when he was much younger. They live in New York, so I don't get to see them like that. And so I met him when he was first came home from the hospital, was still an infant. And he's 9 now, I believe. And my son said, I said, yeah, I can't wait to meet him again, you know. My son said, well, you better be prepared because he's just like y'all, not like us. He like y'all. And so I know he's stubborn. And I told my son, I said, no, what I want you to do for me, son, is I don't want to speak to him first. I want to speak to his mother. Because I want her to know where I'm coming from and have a dialogue with her so she understands who I am and what my purpose is for wanting to be in my life. Because I don't know if she has her grandfather. But we just talk about Emmett Till, and there's a poem I'm writing, a letter for Bobo. They called him, his mother called him Bobo.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you know that. And I'm going to retrace her steps from when she got to the railroad tracks, and he didn't want to give her a hug before he left. He was just ran off. And she said, come give me a hug, baby. And that feel of not knowing that you would never hug your son again alive. So and that's what I mean. Like, that's the kind of shit I like. Well, you know, Ed, you know, I want to write that shit, man.
Man, I'm gonna tell you my like the bookstore I work with, you know, bookstore in Fort Worth, the Doc Bookshop. So 2 sisters own the bookstore. Their mother, we call her Mother Craddock. You know what I'm saying? She's fire. She loved the Black Book of Black. So I got a copy of Still Black and I mailed it to Sin, that host at the Doc. I want him to see it first, and I want him to deliver it to the Doc. So now she has it. Because I feel like she needs to see what the second part of this dream looked like. And I always tell people, I say, I don't know if you know what dreams feel like. I don't know if you know how big your dream is, or if you know how to manifest your dream. I just know that every now and then something's gonna come and it's gonna bother the shit out of you.
Every now and then.
Hey, you know, and then if you don't do it, your neighbor, somebody don't even gonna write the poems that you were given. Because they're gonna bounce next door just to piss you off.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so to me, what it felt like is that I had to write this book, but it had to be the sequel to the book, but it couldn't be the sequel if it didn't have the equivalency of the material within it. So I had to make sure that everything in that book, just like Josh talking about writing a poem for Mamie Till, I'm saying there's a poem that I wrote about Harriet's feet. And it took me a minute to write Harriet's feet because I didn't know what I wanted to say. I just know that America, when we talk about Harriet Tubman, we don't see her in our minds as a Black woman.
Right.
This Woman History Month, you know, nobody say, you know, the woman Harriet Tubman. They just say Harriet, Moses, you know. And how do we write woman back into her bones? How do we declare to America that if America had wrote her woman in the beginning, women would have had the right to vote long time ago. Because they would have known, can't no man walk 800 miles 16 times and free some people and willing to give up their freedom?
And never walk the same way, never walk the same direction.
Yeah, I'm saying, so what kind of shoes she didn't have Nikes?
She sure didn't.
You know, because if I had tennis shoes, I want Tubmans. I want some Tubmans in my feet because I know that shit gonna last.
Did you see what I sent you on Facebook?
No, I didn't.
Check your Facebook Messenger when you get a chance. You gotta check your Facebook Messenger now.
No, I didn't.
But you're right. And when you really study what she did, 800 miles in one direction.
Each.
800 back just to go another 18 miles, 800 to go the other direction again. man. And then what she had to walk through, the terrain, the weather, all the things she had to go through, and hiding and ducking and wondering if that light means I can come forward or I need to wait and pace. I got a poem that talk about that kind of stuff too, and I didn't realize that's Harriet. I got a poem that says just run towards the white picket fence and stop by the pecan tree. If the light is, the candle is lit in the window, wait. That means someone is around. If it's not lit, you can move forward. You know what I mean? Like, and you, oh man, the stuff that she had to endure is just.
Now, I went on here and what I found is this live right now. I'm like this live on. I'm like this is right now on Facebook.
No, but look at your messages. I sent you something.
Yeah, I know that was the first one I saw. Was this one?
Was this one?
Yeah.
I sent you a picture in there that you should have got.
I'm going to. I see respect to Mike 1 hour ago. Okay.
Yeah, I sent you an attachment. The last thing I sent was an attachment. It just says, did it not go through?
It's 10 hours ago. It said, I see you, and this is with Candace Shell and all in.
Let me try to send it again because I want you, because I know this is something that you. Your name is AJ Houston. I know that's you. Oh, wait. No. You got 2 pages.
I got 3.
Okay, so let me say.
Let me switch. Okay.
No. I just sent it to that one. I just sent it to another one.
No. Let me just my update his status. Let me go. I can just switch to the other one right here. Let me see.
He said I got 3 of them.
I do, man.
Yeah, man. Harriet Tubman. Writing about every movement, I think would be an amazing work. To write about what she thought about, how she slept standing up. Not just a one eye open, but how she maneuvered. How many days that she might have nibbled on the same biscuit just to have some nourishment to get from one place to another. Because think about it, even in the time, and she couldn't have a certain kind of foods with her anyway because the wild animals would smell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so she couldn't, it's certain things she had to live through and endure just to save other people. I read about a slave who was a porter, and he drove his master's horses from the south to the north, and I want to say it was in Boston that he was stopped, and that when they went to he was so well groomed. When he got to Boston, they said, "Listen, I want to pay for this man's freedom," and the money was so good that his master said, "Yeah, he's done. Give me the money. He ain't going back with me." He left him there. And that man decided that he can't be free. His family still be slaves. He went back into slavery. He said, "I cannot leave my family here." I'm just thinking about the mindset of a man that you know what I mean? That's willing to do that. Half these Negroes is gone. They're gonna have them some hoes and they gonna get the strip club. They ain't gonna.
No, but see, there's 2 options. The other option was he could make enough money to buy his family. Buy his family freedom. He didn't have to stay free, and that, I guess that's why I admire Harriet so much. I admire Harriet because she said, "Look, I got my freedom, but I know what it was like to not be free. So I'm willing to sacrifice my freedom when a group of people want." And she also said, "I would have freed thousands more slaves if they only knew they were slaves." And I was trying to figure out when I wrote the Harriet poem is, okay, when people decided that they wanted freedom, did they ask Harriet how long it's going to take to get there? How far is free from here?
Yeah.
We'll be there by morning. Is it going to take long? Like the children in the car when you're driving, like, are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Right.
Well, and I could envision Harriet saying, free is going to be however long it takes for us to get there. And I don't think a lot of people could handle that. Because a lot of people, like even right now, people don't vote because we say, "What? I gotta stand in line. I can't just drive through vote. I can't just like a fast food restaurant. I can't." And a lot of times we don't know what other people are going through. I just know that it don't matter what you're going through, but you need to vote.
You need to vote.
So I gotta go to my other page and see.
The other page, man, you got too many pages, man. I would like to have heard one of those conversations about what freedom is and where freedom stands. And are we there yet? Freedom comes when you shut your mouth. Is probably what she said. Because you can't go back now. You're gonna get free this way, or you're gonna get free with this rifle. Because I can't let you go back now.
And that's what people don't understand, that Harriet carried a shotgun not for the people chasing him, because people that was with her wanted to go back.
Yeah,
they said, "Well, I can make it back," but they're gonna be traced back from where they came from, and they're gonna find them. So Harriet said, "You can't leave here."
No, you can, but you won't be breathing. This is a one-way trip right here.
Yeah, you can't leave here. We gonna get free or not.
You know, the point of no return is something different now. Man.
Yeah.
That
I got my other one here.
You still ain't got it, AJ? I'm gonna tell you what you on this picture, you got on your white shirt.
White shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, which one is that? That's okay. I don't have that one logged in on that. I just got 2 pages on that phone.
Okay, that's the one that I sent it to.
Yeah. Okay. No, I got I think that's the India alphabets one. No, but I really think it's important that we continue to have this conversation from now to 2022. We need to continue to have this conversation. What's up, Jedline? Wisdom the Healer? Yeah, we need to have this conversation about why voting is necessary. See, I don't really know why we need to have a conversation, because if they keep trying to make you not vote, shouldn't that make you know voting is necessary?
Yeah.
Why would they not want you to do something if it didn't matter if you did it?
It didn't matter.
That's what I want people to know. I'm saying
they wouldn't be wasting their damn time. You know, they got money to get.
They would not spend all this time trying to change laws, trying to, attack the Supreme Court, trying to make all these people say, look, what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to understand that this right here, we don't need these people in this. And they're not doing it for everybody. They're doing it for people in certain counties. They want your county to not be able to vote. They know that you don't vote all the time, but y'all showed up last time. Showed up and showed out. So they said, "Oh, we gotta change some new laws. We gotta make some old laws now, because they just found out voting works."
Oh, they worry. They worry like hell right now. See, they don't think y'all coming back again. They're like, oh shit, they ain't coming back again. But they think this is the best that you got to give. So they prepared for this shit next time. We got to be better than this time, better than this next time. Because they prepared for this shit next time. They prepared for this. It's that next one. We show out, then they're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, because this time, see, y'all didn't see Cruz and McConnell and all them people begging on TV, begging to y'all got to send some money. They raising money over here. They're raising money. They're trying to get rid of me. Trying to get rid of me. Raising money.
Yeah. It's man. I don't know what it's gonna take for us though.
Well, I'm hoping this is a start right here. What y'all think? Y'all think y'all can get people in y'all household registered to vote? Y'all think y'all can get y'all neighbors registered to vote? Y'all think y'all can, once y'all do that, everybody say, okay, see, if everybody that you get registered to vote, just carry 3 voters registration cards and pass them out to 3 other people. And then tell them that when they register themselves, each one of them get 3. So now you got 9 voter registration cards you got to get. So I just want you to be the one to know where to get the voter registration cards. Right. So then you get 9 people. So when the 9 people get it, then you need 27 voter registration cards. So you give it to them. So then when they get registered to vote, okay, 3 times 27 is what? 71? Yeah, 71.
It's better than 0.
It's 81. I'm sorry.
It's better than 0. I know that.
3. Am I right?
I'll take you. I like it.
Yeah, 81. Okay, so then you need 81. So just go. See, you can go and get a stack of voter registration cards. They don't care because they don't think you're going to get people registered to vote anyway. Or maybe since now they know you might get people registered to vote, they might say,
sign off on it. You got to sign off for that. Show me somebody.
They say, now they're going to say, here, can we take your picture? They need a picture ID. They're going to take your picture with your driver's license. Because they say, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that you're going to be notified. We're going to notify the police of your vehicle, what type of car you're driving.
The cologne you wearing, what kind of lotion.
We're going to say you just ran a red light.
You know you don't wear socks on Thursdays.
Really? Just ran a red light and shit? So, yeah.
AJ, man, I get to tell my baby girl that she could be the vice president of the United States of America. Wow. You know, there's so many parents who were never able to tell their child that.
Man, and I'm saying, but you can tell your son, say, look, man, if Trump can be president, those charges that got dropped, you're good. You can still run.
You can still run.
You still run. It ain't a bad thing, you know. Just tell people that I lived a full life.
I went to the Redeemer and he said I was okay now.
Really?
That's what we do.
Yeah, the good book said. The good book said. When you raise your hand and say, "Yeah," that's what the good book said. Hey,
just put on your cloth and look like the Crusaders or what's the other ones? The other guys. Just be like, God wills it, and you're okay.
Now check it out. Fold your palm in half. And when you put your shirt on, button all the way up, fold the paper and put it right. Fold your palm in half and put it in your shirt around your neck like this, and button your coat all the way up, and they ain't gonna ask you nothing.
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, you running for office, father?" Yeah, they break to my flunky kids for not remembering lies about history. That's correct. I'm saying I had a problem with my son. You know, they've been on a bunch of cruises, my son. So on the cruise to Bahamas, there's a statue of Christopher Columbus. Mm-hmm. You can go see, big old statue. You know, dates on it, 1492 and stuff. So when he wrote his paper about Christopher Columbus on the day they were celebrating Christopher Columbus, he was explaining that Christopher Columbus never made it to the shores of these United States. Mm-hmm. And the teacher thought I had told him something. So she called me. And she called me, and when I answered the phone, she just started talking. She said, look, if he's going to write a paper, I'm going to need him to write a paper. I'm like, excuse me. I say, okay, who are you? Usually conversations start off like, hey, I'm so-and-so's teacher. I say, you don't know how many kids I got in school right now. I'm so-and-so's teacher, and I'm calling about, a paper that was written or whatever. It was. Explain to me what it is. So she told me, she said, well, I want him to write his own paper. I'm like, what is the paper on? He wrote a paper on Christopher Columbus. I said, what did it say? She said, well, I just want him to write his own paper. I said, first and foremost, if I wrote a paper on Christopher Columbus, you wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't be calling me about it. You'd be sending it off to have it published somewhere. I said, so do not call me with an attitude about my sons. I said, as a matter of fact, I will be up to the school tomorrow and we can have this conversation in person. Have a great day. And I hung up. Put on my suit in the morning, went to the school. Locks was longer than this. I got this suit on, tie on. I walk into school and they looking like, uh-oh. Like, and they were looking like, looking at me like I'm a drug dealer, like I'm finna come in there and raise them. I open my coat up and I got some Shasta shit going on, got some machine guns and they came in there and was like, and when I started talking to them, they was looking like, we don't usually hear niggas with this kind of English. That's not what they said, but that's what their eyes told me. And we sit down and had a conversation. They was like, man, we don't, we weren't ready for this. I'm like, but you should be if you call me with some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I thought this is exactly what you wanted because this is what you asked for.
You asked for this year, yeah. It's funny. I remember going to my daughter's school, and I love telling this story because it makes me feel proud. I always say I'm never going to be the best dad in the world, but I'm always going to be the available dad. I'm always going to be available, and I think being available makes you a better father than a father who's, you know, with the riches of the world and ain't never there.
Yeah.
And so, anytime it was something that happened at the school, I'm there. I'm the one who walked into the school. And my daughter came home one day and she said, Dad, you're not going to believe this lady had the nerve to ask me. I said, well, lady, this teacher in my school. I said, well, what she say? I got to go smack somebody? I mean, what the hell is going on? She said, is your mother and father still together? Or do you just live with your dad? And it sat there for a minute because I wanted to know how I needed to respond to this heifer because that ain't none of your damn business, first of all. And then I said, you know what? Dad told me two things, but one that was the most important. And the most important thing is that they are so not used to having black dads in the school. That was number one. Number two is because you're an available father for your child, many, many more eyes are on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I used to go to that school, I went there differently, you know, especially then. And I wanted them to know, listen, I am available, but I ain't nobody's damn fool either. So y'all better get y'all shit together because I know my daughter's capable of doing some shit, but it's some shit that you're not gonna just be able to run across me. You know. But I think that if black fathers would do that at the minimum, just be present at the school, right? It changes a lot of shit.
Now, but what I did at all my son's schools, I had sons at 3 different schools. What I did at all their schools, I did at elementary, my son's school, I went and did a creative writing workshop with classes. At the other one, I went and did one. And I did it at the high school, and my son was embarrassed. I didn't know my son wrote poetry. But his friends was telling me, yeah, Alex write poetry for us. You know, we give to our girlfriends. And I'm like, Alex, we write poetry. So then after I finished the workshop, just say, Alex, now I'm gonna get your dad to write my stuff. But it was the fact that they could see that there was, you don't know how your seeds mimic you until you go beyond the realm of where you used to be.
Yeah.
You know, because all my sons, my daughters wrote poetry. Most of my sons wrote poetry, and a couple of them wrote some pretty good stuff. Then I found that my daughters had a folder when they came home that their poetry was in, and I was trying to keep it. I don't know where it is, but I'm saying I was really impressed because I'm like, I don't know where this come from. Because I know it's a gift. See, we think we found this by ourselves. We didn't find this by ourselves. This was a gift given us. So my job is to make this gift better than the last person that had it.
Yeah.
So the next person that get it have to make it better than it was when I got it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to leave remnants of me in these books that I have. I'm trying to leave a legacy of thought so they would know if that's what my father, or grandfather, or grandfather thought, let me think beyond the realm of where he was.
I
just want.
Yeah. I can't wait for my grandchildren to read a book and then say, wait a minute, my dad referenced this poet. Let me go look him up. Oh, man. The beauty in that, exposing your grandchildren to new things. Now, my daughter used to write poetry. She stopped. And she said, so she tells me now, I was writing. I said, well, what were you writing? Oh, just some goals. I know she ain't writing goals every goddamn day. She just ain't going to share yet. But I ain't saying that. I'll leave her alone. My son, my youngest son, he was... There's this show on Netflix with T.I. and Cardi B and all them. They're taking
I saw that. Yeah.
Well, my son was invited to go on. He appeared once, and he was invited to go to. No, he was supposed to go to Atlanta, And I talked to him today. He was like, man, I should have just went. I said, wait a minute. He said, yeah, I stopped contacting him when COVID came. I said, well, why you do something like that? So my son, he's a new era of the new rappers and stuff like that. But and I can't wait till he sits still. I'm trying to get him to come here next month. And so I can show him how to really make them metaphors work. I can't wait to expose him to that shit, AJ. I'm going to fuck his whole world. He don't even know what I'm going to do to him. I'm going to make him an animal.
I know, man. But see, the thing is, Mr. Witts sent me his part. You know, I sent him. Let me see. I'm gonna read you what I sent him. Right. This is what I woke up in the morning because I was doing is I got 4 versions of this piece that you making me write and shit. And that's the only way I can say I got 4 versions of this piece.
That I'm making them right, Joe. Y'all heard that?
You making me write. I got 4 versions. So I woke up this morning and this is what I wrote this morning. Where it go? A black man walking. I put 2 on this one because I got 2 versions on the computer. Okay. It says, I used to think little boys held their father's hands and walked on their shoes to test how it felt to walk in their feet. I know now that's not the case. Black men know how unforgiving these streets are. That is a father's way of keeping them innocent for as long as they can. As soon as these streets accept the weight of his feet, he becomes a target. The history of how black men walk are listed in newspapers of every city. Their obituaries may not list the size of their shoes. For example, Fred Hampton walked heavy, dragging behind him a revolution. Marcus and Mega walked on megaphones so you could clearly hear the message. Emmett walked on echoes. His pain is still walking across this nation. You could hear the melody of his feet and the loss of so many black young men America took without reason. Alvin walked on air, teaching others to do the same. To my Alvin Ailey.
Yeah, I know. Right. I'm with you.
No, but this is the 4th version.
Damn.
So, but I was like, but I'm gonna try and put all these verses together because they go together. I know they go together some kind of way. But I tell you, the other line I wrote, it says, God,
I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up on that.
Because the other version I wrote on paper somewhere, it says I walk. It said my father learned me to walk light, like who was it? It didn't teach me to walk heavy like a Miles Davis trumpet. I walk light like something else, you know. But it's
well, it's been nice, y'all. I gotta go right now.
But I tell you, I'm trying to fit that line. At one line says, black men walk, their halos are still connected to the ropes around their necks.
Yeah.
And then it said, one line said, I walk dragging 2,000 pounds of dirt, ready to fill the hole they dug for me at birth.
Get my goddamn pen ready. I'm just gonna ignore y'all and just write some shit, man. This is why I don't get no sleep, y'all. Because AJ compile, he drop all this shit on me and expect me to just be able to go to bed at night.
Who making me write this poem?
Yeah, you're right. That's my fault right there. That is on me. I can't blame you all for that.
Okay, I'm saying who making me write this poem? If you hadn't gave me. And that's why I say it's 4 different versions because I started on here, wrote some on here, wrote some on my phone. God. And I'm going to put them all together. But what Whit sent was fire too, man. I'm like.
He read it to me. So I know. He read it to me. He called me on the way home. When you called, he was on the other line. I was like, damn, AJ on call. And the Whit's on. I said, okay, I just tell AJ I'll call him in a minute.
Yeah, Whit sent it. He said, man, I sent you something. I said, man, I already read it.
He called me and said, yo, son, AJ sent me this. Man, look, you got to hear this shit. Stop whatever you're doing right now. He said, don't even drive. Just stop. I said, God almighty.
Yeah, he sent me that shit. He said, man, go check. I mean, I said, I read that shit already. Don't be calling me. The two of y'all bothering the shit out of me trying to make me write this poem.
We not welcome in that house. You're like, no, tell them to park around the corner. You just see them later. You can't go out today.
But I'm saying I think this piece right here gonna be.
And they're gonna thinking. I'm like, damn, why I start this far as far? So the thing is that once you finish this poem, there's gonna be so many other poems that come out of this poem. That's the thing. I already know it. I know how you write, bro. So it ain't no thing.
No, but I was trying to imagine how do you tell somebody something that they don't see they feel? See, I want you to feel how a black man walks. I don't want you to see how. I want you to feel how a black man walks. See, feel how heavy it is. Feel how America is. You know, because I was trying to figure out how heavy is America. How can I say how heavy is America? How much does America weigh? Yeah, I was trying to figure that out so I could put that weight in.
When I think about that poem, How a Black Man Walks, I think about when you go into a barbershop. I don't care how you walk in that mug. You get that haircut, you might have spent all your money you had. You might be hungry. But after you get out of that goddamn barber chair,
you look good.
Shit. When you do like this here, in that mirror, you get up, you dap that barber up, and you walk out of there. Clark Kent ain't got shit on you walking into that damn booth.
I used to go take my sons to the barbershop, right? All three of them be sitting there. First, all four of them were sitting there before Nick joined the army. All four of them sitting there. So I'm in the barbershop. And I just get up, and I get the broom, and I just sweep up the hair and stuff on the floor. Just clean up, you know, ain't nothing, you know. And my son say, Daddy, why you do that? I said, because it need to be done.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm going to mess you up right now. I'm going to mess you up right now. Imagine writing a poem about the different hairs that's in the barbershop floor in one day.
But check it out.
Ooh,
I wrote a team piece. We did at Nationals, a team piece about locks. And the opening line, I got the poem. I was at the barbershop with my sons, and the picture on the wall. The line, where's Locks? Locks is in something. I think it's in here. Locks started off because me and my boy Chuck Jackson, Brenton. Yeah. Okay. 378. Because you're talking about hair. I just thought of it. I didn't even remember this piece. Okay. Yeah. And this is a team piece. So imagine both of us we're interchanging lines and we stepping on each other's lines. It was fire. It says, the last time I went to the barbershop, when my turn came, he looked at me. Before he could ask, I said, mustache trim, edge up. That too. I found myself sitting in front of a poster with a myriad of heads accompanied by numbers. He said, pick one. It's Saturday. There's a long line behind you. Bald fade, mohawk, dark taper, the Caesar. I have always wondered, when they were captured and chained, did they know their heads would be displayed and used as styles for others to mimic? You can learn everything in the barbershop. How to pick up women, politics. They have the best movie reviews. The barber asks me the usual questions, but when he asked, why locks? Every one of them stopped to listen. I paused. Not that I didn't expect the question. I was completely aware none of them were ready for the answer. Sometimes you have to start at the beginning. Not everyone will agree, but as historical records go, Samson had 7. Not saying I'm a Nazarite. Could be not. Who's to say? And sometimes you have to start with revolution, Jamaican Maroons, the first documented community of escaped slaves in the Caribbean, often referred to by their ex-masters as having dreadful locks. Funny how those always seem to be linked. Freedom, community, government, ownership, locks, and locks. But the locks was like locks, and locks, you know.
Right.
And then it says, What's sad is most people think it's a fad. MySpace, Vanilla Ice, selfies, Macklemore, skinny jeans, Iggy Azalea, because one lock is a collection of many strands, and a community is made of free men and free women embracing the natural state of things, fighting to untwist the chains they were given. Perms, locks, weaves, locks, extensions, locks. Corporations claim they embrace diversity. Police will testify this was a DUI, driving while under the influence, not a DWL, driving while locked. Others find anger when they see history in our locks. They can see the splinters from slave ships, shredded pieces of ropes, drenched in the tears of those sold on auction blocks. Those are images locked into my locks. But I found borrowed tongues trying to build a nation out of positive thoughts in our locks. I found kindred spirits in the faith of her locks. King Seti the First, father of Ramses the Second, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Jesus the Nazarite, Pardon Asata, Free Mumia, sing redemption song, wear your hair as our ancestors did, holy, proud, and strong to our surprise. No one in the barbershop was talking. No politics, no homemade soul food plates, no bootleg DVDs to sell. Even the women held their sons a little closer. And the men gazed at the cage of slaves on the wall. I told them, hurry up. It's Saturday. Pick one. There's a long line of slaves behind you. But I don't do locks. And the last one, I don't do locks like this, you know.
Wow. Magic.
But when you said the hair, but I was sitting in the barbershop and I was looking at the post. I'm like, man, what if those were slaves and captured? Did they know that they're on this poster and people are mimicking their haircuts?
Wow. Wow. There's so many images that I want to write to. And now they just hit me all at the same time. I'm not going to get no damn sleep again. This, I said, man, I'm going to call my daddy and thank him for the black barbershop. Yes, brother. Yes. I don't know if that's a brother. I can't read the name, so whether it's a male or female, forgive me. I can't see it because it's away from me. But yes, call your father and thank your father for that, because there's so my mom cut out here, so I didn't go to a barbershop till I was like 14. My mom cut out here all our lives. She cut my dad's hair too, you know, and so I didn't get that experience in the barbershop. I heard other people talk about it, and I went with friends there, but it's different than when you're in the seat, when you're in the chair. And then after I got that experience, I go to the barbershop and just go chill and hang out, just to talk like everybody else would.
Yeah, because I'm saying they got soul food plates coming through. They got bootleg DVDs. They got conversations. They got singers. They got everybody in the bar. But I don't take my sons to the barbershop. They be talking sports.
Yeah.
So, and you know, and they would always want to ask me what I thought. So when I took my son Alex, they asked me the question. I say, Alex would get up and tie him a new asshole because Alex, I'm saying, Alex created ASN, Alex Sports Network on YouTube. He hadn't been using it, but I told him to do it because for 2 or 3 years in a row, Mel Kiper and all of them was talking about this is the draft class and this is who's going where. He picked exactly who was going places in NBA and NFL.
Oh, wow.
What teams needed what and what teams needed this. And I said, man, I need you to create ASL. So when Steven asked you to come on the show and start yelling at you and shit, I don't want you to buck. I don't want your asshole to swell up and shit. I want you to be ready.
Be like,
when he goes to the barbershop, man, he would just be on him. And I always told him, I say, and my partner, you know, let me tell you what a blessing you are. Faye told me the other day, she say, you know something? She say, I'm really, really happy. I said, why are you happy? She said, because you have another Ja in your life.
Wow.
I tell you, my best friend name was Jamal.
Yeah.
That died last year in April from COVID. I called him Ja.
Wow.
And I never thought of that. But she just told me the other day, she said, I'm really, really happy because you have another Ja in your life. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even see it that way, but you're right.
Wow. That's crazy. What's interesting that you say that, though, AJ. I had a friend, went to not high school. He was my friend in elementary school. And so I think we was in 4th grade. I never forget him. His name was Frankel, with an S. And Frankel's lived with his dad and his sister, and their house. We used to walk past his house to go to school. So I would walk up my street, get to that corner, make that left turn. His house was there. Meet him. We walked to school together, right to the next block. And he was in his basement. We got to school the next day, and he's not at school. At first, it wasn't waiting for us. And then I realized that it was, you know, a lot of water and shit out there. But I didn't pay attention to look at the building. But the building wasn't caught on fire. And he was in the basement looking for something. He lit a piece of paper. And the paper burned his hand and he dropped it. Burned the fucking house. And so they had to move. I hadn't seen him since the 4th grade. Or maybe the 5th grade. Was it the 4th? I think it was the 4th grade. Hadn't seen him since then. And we was on a live. You was on live with the Mass Poet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. Now I know Frankel's is younger than you are, and we didn't write poetry together either. But there was something in that image that gave me that. And that's why I was like, damn, that's why me and AJ clicked, because of that. So it's so ironic that you say that shit, you know, because I mean, Frankel's didn't, you know, he didn't pass at the time, and I don't know about now, but he had to move and then move to another state or something, because I never seen him again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't leave New York City or that area. I didn't leave then. This is 5th grade. I didn't leave then till I was in the 7th grade, and then we came right back. Right after school let out, we was right back. So I didn't leave that area forever. So if he was in New York City, the odds of me seeing him I would have saw his ass somewhere.
Yeah.
Never seen him again, man. And so I lost him, and then I'm like, damn, I didn't realize it until you was on it with the Mass Poet. And I was like, shit, he reminded me of my man, because that was my boy. So it's so crazy that you say that with that face of that.
No, man, but I'm saying it was, and the trip is like the Black Book of Black. He was telling me that he said, man, you can't read all the poems in here, because I would go to New Orleans, we go to open mics, and he come to Mississippi. I'm saying we just hang out, but he say you can't read all these poems. He said I'm gonna start reading poems and say I wrote them, and he say you writing so much shit you want to even remember that you wrote it.
AJ, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, man. Every time, okay, let me see, because I know it's right here. Hold on, I know I got it right here. I keep your books close, right? And so I have this one close to me now. The other one's on the other table downstairs. But I pick up Still Black. You see, and I took the picture. So the picture next to my daughter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I showed her that too, and she just.
I pick up that book, and it's not a fear of what's in the book, but there's an energy from that book that's telling me, wait a minute. And I open it and I can't read. I'm like, wait a minute. Something is telling me to wait a minute. And I listen to it because I don't know if it's going to be like, you know, I'm walking into a new fucking, I don't know. AJ, man, I have not read the book, bro. I'm in and out of Still Black. And like I said, you know, I got this one right here. It's always a book. One of your books is always close. I haven't read it yet. And I don't know what it is, but I have not read it yet, bro. I'm almost scared, man.
No, but I'm gonna tell you, man, when I got it, I sent you the picture, because I'm like, man, I say, and I was going through it. Red as blood, yeah. Now when I got it and I was holding, I was like, man, I'm like, this book right here, it just, it feels different, you know.
Yeah. That book. Gina, how you doing?
Ooh, wait, what is Muddy Water? Muddy Water's a prompt Miss Parker gave me. She said Muddy Water, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna read this shit to you. I just found it.
Yeah, go ahead and set it off.
Okay, Muddy Water. It says, I grew up thinking muddy water was what little boys played in when it rained. Each time it rained, in play clothes or Sunday's best I played, jumped, splashed, and ran through muddy water. Did not matter how many times I was told not to. There had to be something in my DNA, making me want to remember, demanding I never forget. It's frightening how knowledge can change literally the way your eyes view the world. When I learned, no one knew how many exactly where, which coast, which shore. Those free men and women chained together leaped into the ocean. They would not go into the night, were not bound and forced into ships on a mission to places unknown. Together, they had enough faith in whatever God you think they knew, believing without a doubt, give me free or else. I will not let you take me away from this place, away from everything I know. This land is sacred. The world was birthed here. As a child, I never thought muddy waters could be so thick, so heavy with burdens it would not allow me to write them. Words can't spell, can't mean, can't translate, can't equal what was taken, what was lost, what we still search for. Every time it rains, I drag my fingers through muddy waters, praying I find what my soul is searching for, what we lost in the oceans chained together, what belief, with belief so powerful, I wonder, were they conscious when they made it to the bottom? What conversations were shared before breath ran out? This had to be the first time a group of people yelled to whatever God resided above those clouds, I can't breathe. Give me freedom or give me death. America changed the freedom to liberty. We still wait for their interpretation. It does not mean what is defined in dictionaries. Muddy waters have taken so many alternate meanings. For decades, police have planted whatever they felt necessary to get a conviction in cars, closets, houses, on persons. Our community is full of muddy water. From judges paid to fill cells for profit, from DNA's scapegoating innocent for guilty, we have served concurrently centuries of time, decades upon decades of muddied waters. Even when found innocent, courts refuse to comply. How muddy does the water have to be for us to see it has never been drinkable? McKinley Morganfield, Muddy Waters. Post-war blues was music before his time. Maybe like me, he searched for answers in muddy waters, ran his fingers through puddles each time it rained, had questions about breath and breathing, wondered how and where the footprints came from. Some nights, pillows drenched in sweat, I dreamed it rained a revolution, a massive downpour. There are always footprints in the places no one has tread, leading me away from wherever I thought I was to where I need to be. It has never been the same place. There's always mud, always water, always footprints. None are mine. They resemble the child I was when my parents told me not to play in puddles. The prints are the same size mine used to be, accompanied by a much bigger dream. I wonder if souls buried on ocean floors can be transported through muddy waters to everywhere on this globe, can speak to the living. How do your messages appear? I need to know where these voices come from, dancing in my head. Who leaves these footprints? What language speaks in fluid ink? What God would use muddy water to pass a message, to teach a heathen how to pray in poems, to hear lessons in the rain, repeating the same refrain from ocean floors long ago by groups of people too proud to give up? It was the first time a chorus sang, screamed, and yelled to whatever God resides above these clouds, I can't breathe, give me freedom or give me death. America changed freedom to liberty. We're still waiting for the proper clarification.
That's why I ain't picked that damn book up and read that shit yet. I ain't never gonna go to damn sleep. Between the book and my daughter. Man.
Now, once you tell me Muddy Waters, I didn't know where the poem was gonna go, but I was like, yeah.
Because when I think of muddy water too, I think of muddy water. Nightingale in the building. I think of muddy water as sperm.
Yeah.
Sperm's like muddy water. It's cloudy, you know, but it's so rich. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Nah, but
that book, man. I'm scared of that book, bro. I don't know what it's gonna do to me. I know it won't be a bad thing, but I just don't know how. You know, it's kind of like, how are you gonna get your ass back out of here?
Lyric, LGB, what up, man?
Listen, y'all gonna be on coffee time, waiting on coffee time. Like it's 11:30. This joke ain't been here 3 days. I'm be sitting somewhere shaking, like I got another poem to write.
Man, my first slam. You know, my first slam poem was
what?
Slanging.
Really?
And that was the name of it. And I remember part of it. It started off. So I would get on stage and I would stop. I would just look around at everybody, look around both sides, and I'll step back from the mic and I put my got them words, 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 yeah. Got them words, got them words, got them words, got them words, got them words. Got them words, 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 yeah. Got them words, got them words, got them words, got them words, got them words. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, man? I got them words, man. I got them words. While everybody else is slanging drugs, I'm slanging verbs. But it was like the idea of the poem was me standing on the corner with the drug dealers.
Yeah.
They're selling drugs. I'm slanging CDs and books.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was my first slam poem because I remember because I stepped back and I was yelling like I'm on the corner, like I'm in the back. I was acting like I'm in the back of the parking lot. I'm trying to get everybody's attention. You need to get these books, man. You got to get this shit, man. This shit ready for you.
AJ, I'm so looking forward to some things that I'm trying to plan to for us to move about and really get this work in, man. I'm I'm always working on something. I'm working on some things that I want to reveal to y'all, when they come to light. But there is, for everybody that's watching, I want you to understand something about what you write. It's not yours. It's not for you. And when you start to write it and realize that, you'll get it. And there's so many messages. Just think about when people come on and they listen to you do a poem, they listen to Wits do a poem and say something. I know if they're saying something to me, I know that you and Wits are getting overwhelmed with them too. And I'm saying the delivery is beyond what we could have even imagined, because those echoes are going to surpass time. Those vibrations are going to be here long after we've forgotten, and people don't even know what our face looks like no more. They won't even remember our voice. But those vibrations are going to go through. There are some children who are going to be like, I cannot believe I read this book. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that this man that read your book is your grandfather? Or he's your great-great-great-grand-uncle? Are you serious? That man? And people, when I say stuff like that, some people don't get it, and that's fine.
But it's not time.
Yeah,
I always tell people when I hear a job poem, right? I hear a job poem. I get out of the poem what I need right now. I need my right now from that poem, and I got it, and it's fulfilling, and I'm full of it. I hear that poem again next week. I'm getting what I need right then, which is not the same thing I needed last time, but there's so much in it that it can fill me up every time I hear the poem, because I'm gonna get something else from it. And everybody, because I was telling somebody yesterday, I say all artists can't art.
That's right. You better say it.
I say all artists can't art. So don't be looking for everybody. I say, because when you understand just what you said, when you understand that the words came for you before they can come from you.
From you.
I say, because a lot of messengers don't take time to read the message, because the message might be just for you. And here you are, want everybody else to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you digest the message, it might be regurgitated in another form and come out in another way, because now I understand what the message is. Let me tell you what the message is. Let me break these two tablets Moses came down here with.
Look what we say about Malcolm. It wasn't that Malcolm was taught. See, people misunderstand. They say he was taught wrong. He wasn't taught wrong. He was taught in a language he can understand, so he can teach the language that other people needed to receive. That's what we miss. That's what Malcolm's job was. Look at Martin Luther King. They called him radical. I love the word radical. If you don't know what the word radical means, shut up. Look it up. I love the word radical. In fact, I had to correct somebody who used the word radical. And I said, listen, I understand what you mean, but let me tell you why I love the word radical. Martin Luther King, they called him a radical. They said his words, his speeches were radical, but they had to be. Y'all go research radical. I'm not telling you what the shit mean. Go look it up.
But look at John Lewis.
He had to change his format to a language that they said was acceptable just to get smacked in the mouth. So he could understand that, wait a minute, okay, I shouldn't have did that shit in the first place. You're messing with someone else.
Look at John Lewis.
John Lewis.
He coined the phrase "good trouble" because I guess they used to always say, "Every time y'all show up, it's trouble."
It's trouble.
What he said is good trouble because y'all don't understand when these billy clubs come out and these dogs and these water hoses and these police come out. They came out and see. It wasn't like the insurrection when the police stood there and say, y'all back up, please back up. Y'all don't come no closer. Okay, y'all, let's back up. See, when we marching, police say, let's get them. We don't have a chance to move forward. They want to stop us right there. And I don't understand how America could not see America's injustice clear when these people stormed the Capitol and only one person got shot. It was because she was trying to get in the window, but everybody else. Tell me if a black person was trying to push through this fence or poking a policeman with a flagpole or spraying bear gas and bear spray or whatever in his face, that he wouldn't have got shot. They've been shooting black men in the back for running. How frightening is that?
Mm.
You feared for your life while he was running in the opposite direction. I'm like, that's. I was working on the poem, and the poem was saying maybe we should carry on handcuffs and handcuff ourselves to the steering wheel when a policeman walks up, so he won't feel threatened, won't be threatened, won't have to shoot us.
Wow, that just hurt my heart. That's some hurtful. And you think about it, man. Every time you pulled over, that has to run through your mind at some point. How do I address this person? Because you don't.
You got to say, okay, where's my hands? Yeah. Make sure ain't no shining nothing around me. I don't need a phone, but I'm setting my phone here, have it on so they can record. But
you got to have all your shit on the dashboard by the time they get up to you. Ready. So you ain't got to reach far. It's right here. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because still that ain't enough.
I know.
That ain't enough.
And then it's according to how he feeling, because he could say you resisting arrest because your arm don't go back far enough.
I remember getting pulled over. I was on Central Avenue down here. I never forget. I was leaving my brother and his girlfriend's house. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home. I got my car. I'm driving down. My family, my brothers call me safety boy because I don't drive. I don't start my engine if you don't have your seatbelt on in my car. You sit in the front seat. You ain't got the seatbelt on. I don't start it. I don't care how hot or how cold it is. If I ain't warm the car up, you in trouble. Seatbelt on. I don't play that. I don't run red lights. I don't have speeding tickets. Okay. This officer pulled me over. It's probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. He pulls me over and said that I ran a red light. Now I knew he was lying. I said, I ran that red light right there. Oh man, you know what, officer? My apologies. Mind you, when I get out the car, I was the operations manager at Bally's Total Fitness. So back then my arms was like, 25 and a half inches. I had some big ass arms. I get out there and this officer is trying to twist my arm up way further than it can go. And first of all, my arm is tight, so it ain't going that way anyway. Second of all, you ain't that strong to pull it up there, so my arm is locked here. And he's grunting and trying to hold me. And I'm saying to myself, if this motherfucker, this is in 97, this is when this is 98, 97, when I first moved to North Carolina. And it wasn't as bad as it is now, because if it was as bad as it is now, he probably would have killed me. Mm-hmm. Because I was too strong and he couldn't handle me. I mean, a little weak motherfucker too. I mean, he grunting, trying to, you know how you try to, and your hands slip out like that? He trying to pull this arm behind my back and his hand slipped up like that and grab it back real fast. And I'm saying, what's the fucking problem? I stopped where you pulled me over at after you said I ran the red light that I know I didn't run. I'm just saying there's a timing, bro, that we live in now that the people who you said how they didn't see it, they saw it. They saw it.
But I'm saying, but it's things are so clear right now, it's impossible for them. See, a lot of people wonder why there's a whole lot of other people marching for Black Lives Matter, because they start seeing the difference in the way they're stopped, the difference in, every week there's a new death. A man, a special needs got a hood over his head and y'all injected with some shit and killed him. And then say, well, he died of natural causes. Then, they'll throw somebody in the back of a wagon, his neck is broken. They say, we don't know what happened. I don't think it was broken in the back of the wagon. But I'm saying, but we've accepted, see, for years we've accepted whatever excuse they were offered.
Yeah.
Because, I always tell people, when I was in the Army, me and my buddies, we would tell people, look, what I'm going to teach you about hanging with me is that whatever question you ask me, whatever answer I give you is the answer to that question, even if it's not relative. Whatever response is to that answer, and people say, man, I ain't. That's why it's the man talking to Sergeant Houston, man. It don't make no sense most of the time. And it was on purpose because I'm like, I don't want you over here talking to me. We ain't cool. But the whole thing is, that's what America has done forever, is to offer a non-excuse, or they say this is the reason, because it was a week or so ago. There's a video on Instagram, Mike Frost, whoever posts these videos. Mm-hmm. And the policeman walked over to this car. They had the trunk up, had the doors open. They had the man on the concrete. Police walked over to the car, and you saw him reach in his pocket, pull something out, and throw it in the trunk. And I'm like, so how you cover that up? How does he not get arrested for planting evidence?
Whitewash it. He did the white thing.
He did the right thing, huh?
That's why that poem I said, you're not supposed to ask God questions. I said, well, if ugly is not in your likeness, it's not to your taste buds, why has not America gotten her fill yet? Because her ugly is, my gosh. Mm-hmm. And so I always tell people, they taught us to pray to a God that we ain't gonna never know. Whatever that God. Think about it like this here. Our ancestors prayed like hell when they was on the plantation.
Man, I like Hope. Hope and Still Black. I like the poem Hope because it says, all this time, maybe we've been white hoping.
What?
like what if Hope were black,
We got to set up that whole. We're gonna do that whole thing on the Saturday or Sunday. We're gonna set up that because we're gonna go through the whole.
But I didn't want to do it early because we had our show. You had your show. Yeah. We had the other show with all six of us.
Yeah. And so we got to sit down and talk about the next movement because there's some things I'm trying to put us in some places where some folks who really need to get this work need to get. Really need to get this work, and now with the way everything is viral now, it can get more acceptable, and then they got monies that they got to give up anyway. So let me give you a formal American history education with some real professors. Let me give you some of this shit.
Really, let me give you I have a shirt line called Poetic Lessons, right? Poetic Lessons is 6 different shirts. Like lesson 1 says, on the back it says, the truth about poetry is poetry used to be the truth.
Wow.
And then another one say,
and then they put it in scripture.
Lesson 2 says, real poets know they're not just alphabets, but it's real REEL. No is the NO, not is the KNOT.
Wow.
So when I was wearing the shirt, people couldn't read it. They couldn't finish reading it. They say, man, man, do you know? I'm like, I know it's hard. It's hard to hear the right thing in your ear, but see the wrong thing in your eyes.
Yeah. Man, I am so ready for. Man, AJ, I got to get you here in April. I got to get you here in June. That's when I need you here. Because if I can get you in April, that'd be great. Or June, but we need another thing too. We need to talk about National Poetry Month. Got a bunch of workshops. We start our open mic back, but I want this because I didn't get to do nothing special last year. because COVID came in. But this year we can. The year before that, man, I had the library uptown on lock. I had uptown Charlotte on lockdown, bro. I had poetry running in the library every day. A National Poetry Month. I was so proud. In fact, some of the footage is still on YouTube from back then. Hours long of us writing poetry for people right on the spot. And so I want to do some things this year.
Now, but I bought me a typewriter.
Did you?
Right before I moved to Vegas, because what I was gonna do, I got this awning and a table. I bought a typewriter and I got a little table. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up on the strip, and I'm gonna say $5 donations to start for a poem, and just type poems on the strip.
Bro, me and Mr. Witz, that's like, you know, we people pay us to come. We do that in churches and stuff like that. That's it, bro. That's it. It don't get no better than that. It don't get no better. And that's what we were doing last year, the year before last. And listen, on my YouTube channel, I got 4 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, an hour, all that stuff going on for the National Poetry Month on my YouTube channel from back then. Man, it was amazing. It was amazing. Good. I still have the first poem I posted on my Instagram, the first poem I wrote for National Poetry Month. For that, it was called "The Poet Is In," that they did in New York City, and then we did it out here. And then I did. There was a young lady who, the date was 3/21 that her grandmother passed. She was in a hotel room. Her room number was 321, and I want to say the timing that she came in was 321. I put all that shit in the poem, and that young lady was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my god!" I have a couple of people who actually, because we printed out right there for them. They printed it out and they got it framed and they have it in there. As a matter of fact, it's an ebook in a public library here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's in an ebook, and all the poets that I got to be a part of it, they're in that ebook too.
But what I would do in that vein, my name is AJ Word Artist, right, on Instagram. But I called myself the Word Artist in the beginning because what I did is I would do, like, for graduations and for weddings and whatever, they would give me a picture and give me a write-up on the two people. I would create this big frame poem with the background of the picture.
Yeah.
Word art. So that's what I would do word art. And for graduation, I would go and I would read it at the wedding, or go and read it at the graduation, or go read it at the funeral, and I would offer it. So that's why I'm word artist, because that's what I did. I created word art.
Yeah, that's dope, AJ. That's dope.
Yeah. But the typewriter, I just want to type it up and just type it and hand it to them so they have an original piece and sign it.
Ain't no feel like that typewriter. I don't give a damn what computer you got. Ain't no feel like that typewriter. Ain't no feel like that.
No, but I got in the garage. I was looking. I say, man, as soon as COVID will allow me to do, and now that it's kind of opening back up, I might see there's on Fremont. On Fremont, you can buy a space, but they do have spaces where you can just be.
Okay.
But they have dances. They got cook. They got strippers. They got all kinds of. On Fremont, they got everything you can imagine.
Wow.
And they got it set up to where you go and you have your little bucket. And when people come, you play your music and you do what you do and you hustle.
Yeah.
I want to hustle right there on Fremont with typewriter.
I need to take my congas out there and play my drums and do my poetry. That's what I need to do. Yeah.
Because that's really what I want to do. I want to do some, at least have my laptop and have either one of my CDs playing. Because I have 4 CDs. I'm gonna send you some of my CDs. I got down on my computer somewhere. Okay. I have 4 CDs.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out what the first one was. Love Seasons. Love Seasons was. I tell you, when I was in Cali, the first CD I was doing my All Love Portrait CD at my homeboy studio. And I like it. It was completely different because all the love poems were love poems, but they weren't all in love poems.
Right. That's why I'm doing that book, Love Chronicles. I let a few people read it, and there's like, man, I don't want to be crying and shit reading this goddamn book.
Now I got a poem I like called I-O. It's not I-O-I. And it just starts, it begins as I-O-U. So now I only O-I.
The transition, got it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Daybreak, if you get you a typewriter, get one. Get one.
Yeah,
Make sure you get one that you can still get the ink for. That's the key. Because I don't know how that works now. It's probably kind of hard to get ink for
I'm saying you can probably go on Amazon and find you can find some, but you can go on some of the other sites where like a thrift store and some of the, because I was checking out thrift stores first. You've been holding back. You have CDs too. Yeah, I have CDs, Betty. I'm sorry. I forgot, Betty. I forgot. I forgot, Betty. I forgot. No, but I have I'm trying to think. What's the opening track on this CD, man? Because I did it in the studio. I was some rappers in the studio, and they was talking about, they said, "Man, what you think, man?" And I say, it sound like everybody, because they was in there smoking weed. And I didn't smoke. I had my locks. They talking about, "Man, you don't smoke? Why you got locks?" I said, "I got locks on because I don't need to smoke." Then, because I told them, I said, when I began writing poetry seriously, and the truth is, poetry would get me high. I would have endorphins. I would have this light head. When you wrote it right and it felt right, it was like, whoo, man, that's that piece right
there.
Yeah. And I was in the studio and they told me to write something. What they didn't like what I said about what they just did in the booth. So I wrote this conversation with a poet while I was sitting there. I wrote it, and they was doing an old 50 Cent beat. So I told my partner to play the beat. I went in the booth, and that's the first track on one of my CDs. But the opening says, it says, so many people talk about life like they really know it. But have you ever took the time to have a conversation with the poet? I'm not saying everything you hear be like seeds starting roots, but at some point in your life, you need to at least have a closer walk with truth. So many people ask me why I write like that. Can't you see these locks? You can't miss the fact my skin is black. I bet you think I just smoke trees and listen to hip hop. But you can't imagine how many times I've been randomly pulled over by the cops. But I told my pen today we wouldn't write about the pain, but every day life keeps attacking me after write or go insane. I probably need an umbrella made of steel to keep from drowning in the rain. I've been listening for the apology for America put us through, and I wonder if you're feeling me, your ears are tuning and you're listening for the same thing too. For starters, U.S. didn't stand for United States, it stood for United Slaves. A mantra that band together trying to make better days. Now we got 8 and 9-year-olds talking about they got their finger on the trigger, barely reading, barely writing, calling their friends a nigga. You might crack a smile because that's your child and act like it's so cool, but you won't even see the problem until they dropping out of school and you wonder why I pray we'll go back to being slaves. No discipline in the system. It's impossible to teach while children misbehave without further education. We can't make no better days. Our leaders of the past had to choose which platform they stood on, whether it was passive resistance. We need to rise to education. We need to fight till we're all gone. Now we got rappers on the stage. I was thanking Jesus Christ, how he blessed them with those meetings, gave them a better life. I'm not saying they're wrong. You see, they have the concept right, but you won't find any resemblance of God in the lyrics that they write. I'm so saddened to see that we're traveling back in time. So I'm praying for slavery to come back so we'll be at the back of the store, in the back of the line, so everybody can send this a new millennium. We ain't doing fine. Mothers of our children spending too many hours crying, and we just want to buy the latest fashions and CDs so we can feel our life sublime. We've had more than 1 million black men standing in the center of Washington Square, while television stations and mass media claim, hey, there ain't no million there. I can't believe all these great moments could dissipate and not be saved. Our communities are in shambles, and the institution of marriage is buried in the grave, and you still wonder why I pray we'll go back to being slaves. See, I don't need an angel to come and save me from myself. I plan on writing truth. We ain't got no truth left. Then I just write facts while I wait for something else. We need to find a way again to make our family strong. Hey, could somebody give me right numbers so we can call all our black men home? Then maybe we could stop the constant flow of black boys in these prison zones. See, ever since John the Baptist, we've been trying to reconnect. Go back into the womb and come out with self-respect. We just waiting on technology. We haven't advanced that far yet. But every day my life is so stressful, I can't wait to see what's next. I'll probably be standing in the middle of the desert trying to hold water in a net, or standing at the burning bush with no pen and paper can erase the knowledge I will get. But sometimes I catch myself daydreaming. Oh man, in my visions, my life is completely different. Man, I lost. But I just kept going because I hadn't even remembered that poem. So because I had all these poems remembered. So if I remember the title, I can remember the piece. I was trying to see if I remember. So I remember most of the piece, but that's most of it. But
yeah, man. The last time, probably the first time I had to write a poem like that it's basically shut some, because it's basically shut. Let me shut your ass down to show you that I can do the right thing.
Yeah, but that's what I did. I just wrote it in the studio. What's up, creative minds? What's up?
I did a poem. When I didn't host my open mics at first. I was trying to learn how to really get involved with this community, and because I was a reggae party promoter before I was doing poetry events. And so the hosts, they came in our spot one night and talked about, yeah, well, this is how we do it down south, and we don't do it like this here, you know. So it was a New York versus North Carolina shit. And I didn't really peep it until later. I said, okay, I'm gonna fix their ass on Tuesday when they come back in here Tuesday. So we got in there, lined up, and I opened up the show. I said, let me ask you a question. Can you really learn lessons stressing over life's misplaced blessings? See, we live in a land where grown men act like adolescents. They be secretly sneaking and peeking and hate texting. Not to mention the smiles that secretly turn upside down. And all the backbiters to write down every move that you make that they like. Now, make no mistake, because between love and hate is a thin line. So you should, between love and hate. Oh gosh, I can't remember. But I was just attacking them, just having a conversation.
Inadvertently, like, yeah, let's have this conversation. Yeah,
they was on the sideline, like, because they wasn't used to me saying shit like that. You know, they was on the sideline, like, whispering and shit. I get off the stage, Which smacked my hand so hard. He said, "That's what I'm talking about. Eat these motherfuckers up." Hey, they didn't even get on the mic that night. I gotta remember that poem. I gotta recite that poem for you because I had some bars in there that was like, wow.
No, but I got bars and poems, man. I think the book you got, that one got some shit in there that I need to kind of remember. But that's what I'm saying. Most of the poems I got, if I memorize the poem, I still got the poem memorized. I just like that one. I can go back and because one of my favorite poems to do was what is the name of? I'll tell you if I think of the title, I could think of the piece. My favorite poems to do it at open mic is what is it? Lessons. It's not lessons. It's in Voices of Angels. And let me see. That's the name of the piece, Voices of Angels. Oh yeah, let me see it say, we spend our whole lives craving just a taste of love. And I refuse to believe that my thirst for this truth in verse is simply a waste of blood. Oh, when these words hit you, you're truthing like scripture and let your thoughts flow like floods. So no matter what you think, this poem is not written in ink, but formed in the skies above, the voices of angels. So I've been writing poetry all my life, but recently I had to stop. For the last 4 months, I've been on a quest to find love. You know, that still feels like the beginning kind of love, that always and forever, never ending kind of love. I need to feel what it felt like when I first started writing. I didn't write for performance or for slams. If no one ever read it, I was satisfied with just writing. Now I'm practicing writing backwards, trying to find the adoration for the alphabets all over again before any words are formed, before any concepts can be attached. It's strange how sometimes our dreams are able to reveal our true purpose. I only say this because the other night in a dream, Langston, David the Psalmist, and William, and all those others I've always held in such high esteem, they sat around my bed and they told me that what moved me was their spirits on through me, and these words were the only thing to soothe me, and told me I was a source of inspiration for everything they ever created. Einstein told me this thing about time, say time is not linear like we believe it to be. It exists in the past, the present, and the future simultaneously. So now I can say with true conviction that I am the one who lights up the sun, giving you the illusion of day. Darkness is also my responsibility, so I split the dark from the light, which made the night, and that's when I write. Yeah. Water was the hardest thing to create. It is the stain of life in humans and every creature in the oceans, ponds, and lakes. It would be tragic if that was just the simplest mistake. See, I know I'm not the only one who's taking the time to measure the exact distance between right and wrong. I took the metric meter, added lines to it, called it measurements so singers could sing their songs to. And it's writing you still wonder why I do it. So early in life, my teachers loved everything I wrote. But I held my pen so tight and used such force with each deliberate stroke that one day my teacher told me I need to change the way I hold my pen. I wish what I know now would have known back then, because I should have asked her, shouldn't it depend if I draw these words from the depths of my mind as God placed them in my hands? See, look, I don't even need to copyright my work anymore. See, I have 4 of the greatest scientific minds on loan. I'm authorized anytime to contact them by phone, and no matter how hard I've tried, it is impossible to unwrite this poem so those who bite it can only taste it in its molecular form. See, I finally gathered enough strength to take every negative thing through this life that's ever been said to me. Scripted in this book of pain, so every night is read to me. Regurgitated all the lies that society has ever fed to me, and I cut my wrist. Now all that exists is this truth in verse that's bled for me. And the other night, I, like Jacob, wrestled with an angel all night till he loaned me this verse. But he told me in order for you to comprehend it, I had to stop and comprehend it first. See, right after Langston and Williams said to me, they only wrote what they wrote because that's what they heard from me. I woke up, washed my face, and saw they left this tattoo they read, pour it on my tongue. I bowed my head and asked God why. And his reply is, the truth always begins with one. So I've been writing poetry all my life, and for constant hours I rehearse. But every time you see me on this mic, my whole life is in this verse. At least I didn't drop it.
Yeah. Just give him 11. We're not gonna go with the 10. Just gonna give him straight 11.
Yeah, I didn't drop it. I'm saying, but I'm gonna tell you, I actually had about 500 poems memorized at one time.
I will not admit that I do because I don't. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend I had that many poems memorized. Nope. Not gonna do it. Kiana, what's up, lady? Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
But it was
amazing in itself.
You said what?
That's amazing in itself, right there. That's wow. That's amazing. AJ, we've been on here for 3 hours.
I know, man, but you know what I'm saying? And we was late, and we still. I'm gonna tell you. So what I want us to do is, okay, next week, bring the voter's registration card from where you are. I'm gonna bring one from where I live.
Okay.
So we can show them what it is. We can show them, because in Texas they had them where when you pass them out, it had a self-addressed stamp. It was already stamped, so you can just fill it out and put it in the mailbox. So at least let's offer them what we know about the areas that we're in, and ask other people to come on, and even if they could just come live and give a picture,
yeah,
or see if they need if you need to buy a stamp to send it in. That's what I'm saying, because you don't need a stamp. It should be easy to register all the people in your area if you ain't got to buy no stamp.
Yeah, because you can do it.
Put money in it, and you still ain't registered.
Ain't cost you a damn dime.
Daybreak.
The one-man band. Yeah. Well, yeah, we should do that next week. I could get me one. I could get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one from here too, so we can actually show what it looked like, and just because I think right now, since they're trying to change all these laws, we really have to be vocal about this even more.
Yeah, because ain't nobody talking about it, man. I ain't seen it nowhere.
No, and nobody talking about the laws they're trying to change either.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think it's time, man, that we be more proactive. Because Betty had said something earlier. She said, "Yeah, let's have action instead of being proactive." Because a lot of times we are reactionary people. We don't do anything until something happens. Then it's too late.
It's too damn late.
It's like you can't block a punch that from somebody that just hit you in the eye.
It's too late. It's too late. Hell, you can't even cry. It's too damn late to cry.
But no, man, it's been 3, man. But I love you, Ja, man. I told you, man, when Faye told me that. Oh yeah, come on, give me something before you go.
All right, let me find something to read.
But let me finish this. When Faye told me that, I was like, that is it, because she say, you found another Ja. And it wasn't that I found another Ja. It was just another Ja showed up, was sent this way so we could not even cross paths, so we can build a bridge together. Because I don't think we're not crossing paths. We're just building bridges beyond the realm of wherever we thought we were going in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Summer Rose the poet.
I don't know what to read, so I'm just gonna grab the first thing I can and kind of go with it and see how that works out. Try to read something I hadn't read in a while. No, I'm not reading that. Not reading that one. Let me see what I got here. Let me see what's this here.
What's up, Summer Rose? We finna hear a poem by Coach Ja. He finna drop these bars for us.
I'm gonna read the one that Mike gave me to read to write about my mom.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm reading that because I happen to really like that piece. So
me too, man. That's fire, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize that this prompt would take me there. I really did not, but I'm glad it did. And
Summer Rose the poet say, "Tell Coach I said, hey."
hey, what's up, Summer? Listen, I'm glad you're here. You can listen to this poem. Oh, she heard me do this one on Emmanuel Lewis the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It says in 1912, this particular building was constructed in New York City. And although there were other names attributed to this fixture, It was an American tragedy tailored by the treachery of white supremacy that made her last name well known. The seats are filled, shoulders rest like bowling pins in perfect order. The key of B found the perfect 82 beat per minute tempo. Song, you were there for me. No one could come between this love. I know I will never let you go. Scene, the glorious brown in her skin began to glow. Center stage anticipates her movements, hands grace between the air and the piano chords. She spins to melodies that remind us of the elements. The spotlight calls her, cast her shadow with God's approval. You can see her eyes close. Watch her arms gracefully butterfly themselves before the masses. No one is breathing on their own. Every limb plays to the language of love. Her voice captures her movements. His voice captures her movements. You were there for me. Her eyelids split. Tears puddled the spots where bullet casings married the ground, where police tape ordered a crime scene. Her tears rippled to the sound of someone yelling, "They killed Malcolm!" Her foot soles left the ground. Arms found freedom while matching the thick of the atmosphere. Her energy went from confusion to pain as assassination found itself in the point of her toes. Every lift, every spin, every pirouette settled in the cadence of her routine. Donny Hathaway's voice mirrored the keys. It seems like Malcolm's spirit had never left this room. Carried the baritone between those 82 beats per minute, 6 paces before the next pirouette, then bounce. Her son's voice found a poem. Her daughters found their steps wanting their mother's shoes. Sister Betty was there. Attila remembered the gunshots. They called it Harlem Blues, but we called it America. Called it injustice, gave it the name America always taught us to call it, but her legs were strong. Held the weight of the world between her whirling fingers. Maumi began to dance in worship. Allah remembered the sequence, made the sky cry in remembrance. Made it seem like Maumi did a rain dance, y'all. And she blessed what most cannot stomach, told her truth because the lie had already run its course. A song for you puddled the eyes of little ghetto boys. For all we knew, giving up was not an option. Pattern, where is the love within this moment? I got lost in her movements. Remembered the embryonic fluid against my canvas. I closed my eyes again. Listened to the wind, the way it went against her face, along with her fingertips, under the pattern position between her feet and the graveyard that was once a crime scene. 82 beats per minute, 10 toes lifting her tiny frame in relation to the song, finding the last balance from the last riff. Shots echoed against the 53-year-old walls that told us who the real culprits were. CIA, FBI. It was a night to remember. This Christmas seemed forever away, like someone else told the story. Gave it principle, made the spotlight glow against her spirit. Have you ever seen an angel dance? Tread through wind gusts that gave innocence to movements, that planted celestial in bended knees, sanctified the elegance of systematical movements. Graceful fingers. You see, it's a God-given talent. And I watched it through the lens of a son, and I heard it through the rhythm of Malcolm's last breath.
Audubon. What up, little baby? I see you. This is 10 Times Now with Coach Ja. That was Coach Ja just reading this fire piece. What's the title of that piece?
She's dancing.
She's dancing.
Yeah, the prompt was to write a poem of my mother dancing to Donny Hathaway, who's one of my favorite artists, playing in
One of mine too. And that's what a song for Donny from the Whispers, which maybe is what made me like the Whispers, you know.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, this is 10 Times Now. Me and Coach Ja, we had this show every Thursday, and we've been on here for 3:10. We finna cut it short. Thank you, Summer Rose, for coming through. Thank you, little baby, for little the baby.
Listen, I'm glad you listened to this. Oh, she heard. I'm playing a recording. I don't know why.
No, man, but it's awesome, man. But okay, next week what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring a voter's registration from Nevada. He's gonna bring one from Carolina. So we're gonna see what they look like. We're gonna evaluate them, and we want everybody to know that you need to go get a voter's registration from where you live, from where you sit, so you can see how it looks, how it reads, because we need to be prepared for 2022. And the only way we're gonna get ready is be ready right now.
Be ready right now. We don't have time to get ready. We need to be ready.
Because 43 states they're trying to pass 250 different laws to make your vote not count, to make it harder for you to vote. So if you don't get ready now and see that we need to prepare the way they're preparing, because even if we just vote 2 days, if we pick 2 days that they can't close, we can still do what we need to do. So we need to make sure we get all these people out that keep trying to do all these wrong things. That's the whole.
They need to go now.
So we can't wait no longer. Ain't no, you got what, a year and a half to prepare, and you can't be ready to vote in 2022. Man, what's wrong with us?
Thank you. Come on, someone on IG heard it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's one of my favorite poems. I'm really gonna put that poem to some music and give that to my Omi. I want her to have that.
No, I like it. I like to cast her shadow with God's approval.
Oh yeah.
That's dope, man. That's
AJ, I ain't gonna lie. There was
the lie has run its course.
Huh?
And the lie has run its course. There's a lot of lines in there, but I wasn't gonna bring them up because you're gonna make me talk about the whole piece, because the piece is fire.
And no one knew that building was that old. I did not know that building had other names before it had that name. And I wanted to make sure I could not reference being in Audubon and not saying how the FBI and the CIA killed Malcolm. Yeah. I could not reference that.
The thing is, it's when you do research on your piece, you give other people a history lesson they didn't know they were getting.
That's right.
A lot of times when you rediscover things, it's like that's why I say whenever you write something down, it's no longer yours.
No longer yours.
If it was something secret, you would have kept it to yourself.
You might not have got it.
Yeah. And not just that, once you write it down, it's no longer yours. But if you get a message that comes for you, then you have the ability to interpret that message and send it out to other people.
And you have an obligation to do so.
Yeah, because if you're learning, if you're reading, what are you learning and who are you teaching? Yeah. Those are only options. Because there's no way you should learn anything and not teach somebody what you know.
Yeah.
Because we should be teachers of whatever knowledge we have, because you didn't get it to keep.
No. It's not yours to keep.
But no, man, love you, man. Let's get on out of here, man. It's after 3, but we're gonna definitely set up. We're gonna do this Still Black review.
We need to set that up soon, because I want that to happen very soon, and then I need I need to be well rested that day. Well rested that day. That need to not be a day that I'm out doing a lot of things, because there's so much. Because I want to make sure that I'm taking my notes properly on that day, because there are things that I want other people to see, and I want to. So when people deliver poems, sometimes we need to understand how to receive a message and what to look for. You know, and it's good that you get stuff anyway you get it, but sometimes there are things deeply rooted that we don't get to see. You know what I'm saying? And so had I not said in that poem, had I not said someone killed Malcolm, they might have forgot that it was in the Audubon.
Yeah.
You know, that was, you know, that was purposely put there for that.
And the reference to the bullets and the shell casings and the caution tape.
Right.
Something happens that, you know, they should know.
Yeah.
But no, man, I think the way you tell an all-inclusive story is completely different from anybody else just writing a poem. Because we don't have poems that are poems. We have poems that are buildings, that are monuments, that can display this whole thing. You lay this picture out and the whole picture is there for you to see everything. And I think that's what a poem should be. What are you painting? What did I paint when I wrote this?
Right. And how do I put my fingerprint on it that it doesn't belong to somebody else? Right. It doesn't belong to you until you receive it after I've given it to you. I'm going to gift wrap it for you with my thumbprint. And then you can take it, but you're going to have this stamp on it. And how do I do that?
I'll tell you, I started writing a slam poem for that slam that I wasn't in. And one line says, it says, your poem came to me and asked me to check the paper for thought prints.
I'm done. I ain't got nothing else for the night. AJ gonna have me writing all night. I told you that little girl gonna be up in 2 hours.
Okay, man, let's get out, man. Hey, Devin, man, I can't, man. I think your book is fire, man. I want to hear the rest of it when you do the rest of the show. Devin was reading from his book.
Really?
And
I'm gonna make it next week because I'm trying to clear up some space to do some other things. So I'm gonna make it next week because I got a lot of planning for National Poetry Month, which is something that I want to talk about. I want to do a marathon National Poetry Month. So we'll talk about
and I was planning one too, like the last one. But I want to do, you know, because I told Faye, I said, Faye, for National Poetry Month, one day, my birthday is April the 18th.
Okay.
I said, on my birthday, I was thinking about doing a 24-hour marathon. And if need be, I can do a 20. I think I got enough poems to read 24 hours of my own work.
Wow.
I really do. I got folders and stuff that I ain't even edited stuff. I think I can read 24 hours of my own work.
Wow.
But I got a whole bunch of other people's books, so I would definitely read other people's poetry and other people's things.
Yeah.
Oh, some Rose say thinking on the same page. Yeah. We always are, and I'm saying you can join this. But I'm saying,
some Rose, I want to hear some of your work. I definitely want to check you out. I definitely want to.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about doing a 24-hour. And the reason I was going to do 24 hours because a lot of times it's interdependent on people coming through to make that time pass. But I was just trying to make sure that if nobody else participated, I could pull off 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know, because I got your books, I got Witt's books. It would be crazy. Yeah, I really think I got enough poems to read 24 hours, man.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know I can hold down a good portion of the day, but I don't know if I got 24 hours. Now, I'm not gonna say I don't, but
yeah. I mean, no, I think I do because I got, man. But now what we're gonna do is let's sit down and coordinate a couple of things because I think if we need to do 4 events, even if it's the Thursdays. Decide what we're going to do in April. 4 events for National Poetry Month that we're going to do, and each Thursday will be an event for National Poetry Month. Whatever make it be.
We're gonna use this platform 10 times now.
Yeah. We're going 10 times now will be 4 times in April, but each will be an event for National Poetry Month. Even if we come on here and just do, we might give you a workshop. We might bring somebody in here, and
I think we should.
We could read their poem, and we would reevaluate their poem, and we edit their piece for them.
We should let them do the new pieces that they're writing for National Poetry Month. 30 for 30. They got new pieces that we should do that. We should. Yeah.
But I want to bring some people in so we can say, okay, this is an opportunity for you to get that work.
Yeah.
What piece do you really want evaluated? Because I think we can help you in that process.
She said, "Look at Daybreak." And you got no. Yes, Daybreak. I have enough coffee for 24 hours. You better believe that. Believe that. Believe that. Anyway, man, I need to go eat anyway too. Let me go eat. AJ, man, I love you, man. I appreciate you. It's always an honor and a blessing, brother, to be here with you.
Definitely. Next time I go live, I'm gonna send you one of them airplanes for my thing. I want you to come on. You got to come and read something for sure. Coach Josh, you got to come and read something. You want to hear some of your
definitely something. Definitely. None happened. Yeah. I'm ready.
Thank you for tuning in. It's 10 times now. Coach Ja and myself. It's awesome, man. It's an awesome day. So and just think about it. The choice of excellence is up to you. So every day you wake up, be excellent. Choose it.
Yes. Be excellent. That's it. Yeah. AJ, I'm gonna hit you later. I love you, brother. It's time to go eat and relax for this little girl wake me up. Now I gotta do all this writing and shit. You know, got me all worked up. Now I got to writing.
Hey man, this is how black man walk ain't gonna write itself.
I'm gonna have to get on that. That might be the one I work on tonight.
It ain't gonna write itself because which show made me have to think about some other things. So I got some lines on here I'm trying to dance with. We gonna the poem might be 18 pages long by the time we're finished. Now, some roles say for sure should do that. Okay, definitely send a message so we can get this done.
And tell her she got a book so she can read her book.
Do you have a book? Do you have a book? What's the title of your book?
Yes, so she can come on there. I want to definitely hear some of her work. Man, I thank you so much, Rich, and everybody who joined in on the line. If you're still in here, man, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. It's 10 times now. Me and AJ, we come on every Thursday at 7. I was on Color Folks time, so I was a little bit late today, but AJ was on time. I was just late. Notice I didn't say black people time, but that's colored folks shit. Color folks do that kind of shit.
She said no book yet.
Okay, don't worry about that.
We're going to work on that too.
Yeah. So I love y'all, IG. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Y'all take care. Let's lay.
Thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you for listening. Thank you for your comments.
Let's make it happen. I love the sax. I love it.
We're together, and we'll talk about it because we'll definitely get you in the vein to get your workout.
Good night.
But I appreciate you. Logging off now, 10 times now with Coach Ja. Thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. Be excellent.
Okay, let me get this on here. Get this in the right place. Yeah, we're going to log it off. I love y'all, man. Y'all be good. AJ, I'm definitely going to hit you up later. I'll probably be texting you in an hour after I finish writing.
Okay.
If not, I'll see you in the morning tomorrow. We got to talk anyway, so it's all good.
Oh, yeah. That'll work for sure, man. Okay, love you, man. I'll talk to you later. Let me go ahead.
Love you back, bro.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.